is swung on and hit in the air to right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Lee Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! To left power, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps to the back for one out, throws to first. It is in time, a double play.
And that one is gone! Joey Abner!
A high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. P.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first year covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Darren Zaslow.
Newport looks to extend its winning streak to 3 games here today with a home-away doubleheader. Newport hosts the Winnipesaukee Muskrats here at 1 o'clock p.m. today from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Darren Zaslow with you here, field level. Winnipesaukee enters play with a 14-20 overall record. The Muskrats are coming off a 6-5 comeback victory against Sanford last night. The Muskrats scored 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to win that game 6-5. It was a walk-off double. An RBI and an error on the play helped score an additional run. That was off the bat of Conrad McMahon for Winnipesaukee, the Texas Rio Grande Valley product. Winnipesaukee is currently 2.5 games out of the number 3 spot in the Northern Division. They are currently trailing the Keene Swamp Bats. Newport, on the other hand, 13-19 entering play here today, coming off a 7-2 victory over the New Bedford Bay Sox last night. Newport got an excellent starting outing from Jack Patterson, who threw 7 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs on 3 hits. He struck out 12. Carter Aldretti increased his hitting streak to 10 games. The Arizona State product currently has 4 multi-hit games in a row. Aldretti had 2 hits last night. It's Newport and Winnipesaukee, first pitch set for 1 o'clock p.m. here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Dave Peck alongside Brown University pitcher Reed Anderson. Reed, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here. Nice day, not too bad. Got some cloud coverage, but we can handle it. Saturdays, love Saturdays. Like to get a early game in for the boys, so good to be here.
I understand. People have been talking. You have a best friend that has the exact same name as you do. How did you deal with that in your youth?
Right. So we were on the same baseball team, same football team and everything, so it was kind of difficult to separate us, kind of figure out who we were. So at one point after a baseball tournament, I ate about 18 tacos at Taco Casa. It's a Texas chain. But, yeah, so it kind of just stuck from then. My parents call me Taco. My teachers in high school called me Taco. My senior year yearbook actually said Taco Anderson. So
That's crazy. Favorite taco?
Favorite taco? I like to keep it simple, honestly. I'm a hard shell guy. No tomato, no salsa, just some ground beef, a little bit of lettuce, some cheese. I'm a big cheese guy, so I got to load that on there.
Least favorite taco?
Least favorite taco. Wow. Not a huge fish taco guy. I know the Northeasters will hate me saying that, but not a huge fish taco guy. Don't really like the tortilla either. So,
another question from somebody else in the Newport organization. I have been told that you are kind of a worrier. There are things that can worry you, maybe get you a little frazzled. That's what people are saying. It's not coming from me. How do you deal with that when you get on the mound? And what do you have to say to your critics?
I love my haters. I mean, I'm not a worrier. I kind of just attack every situation. I go full force. I'm kind of a train. So, I just attack every situation, and I want to give a shout out to my haters for telling me that.
Big save you picked up against Ocean State in that 3-2 win. What was working for you on the mound?
Arm felt good. It was nice and hot out, so I was nice and loose. Ball had some good life on it, a little bit of sink, so I could establish my fastball early, and I felt good.
How do you attack today mentally, physically? 2 games today, Winnipesaukee, then you guys head away across the bridge to Ocean State. Long baseball night yesterday. What do you do mentally to prepare for it?
Huge baseball day. Got a lot of game to play, so I think you just got to take it one pitch at a time. It's going to be a long one, but it's what we're here to do, so we can handle it.
Well, best of luck in those games. Ladies and gentlemen, Taco Anderson, Dave Peck, the NECBL pregame show continues next here on the Gulls Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Darren Zaslow with you here. Join alongside to my left, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood, and to my right is Newport Gulls field reporter Dave Peck. Dave, we'll start with you. Newport coming off a huge win last night over New Bedford, 7-2. Jack Patterson picks up his first win of the year. The Bryant Southpaw through 7 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs on 12 strikeouts. Probably one of the better pitching performances we've seen all year from a Gulls pitcher.
Definitely one of the best performances we've seen all year, and it couldn't have come at a more important time. Each game right now is so valuable for this team. Trying to get into that last playoff spot in the Southern Division. They have 2 games today, and they both matter just as much. The only way yesterday's game is going to matter a lot is if they're able to take both of them and maybe pick up a game or maybe a half a game on the Mystic Schooners.
You bring up a great point. Mystic does not play tonight, so Newport has a chance to pick up a full game if Newport can beat Winnipesaukee here this afternoon and then travel out to Ocean State tonight to win against the Waves in Game 6 of the Pell Bridge Series. But, of course, for this Newport team, Dave, the focus has to be on this game against Winnipesaukee.
Yeah, doubleheaders, coaches say it all the time. You have to take each pitch, each inning for what it is and not think about the rest. These guys know that they have a long day of baseball ahead of them, but they've been in this situation before. They played upwards of 60, 70 games within the past year, so this is nothing new to them. What they have to do here is take care of business one pitch at a time, take care of Winnipesaukee and try and get a win, and then worry about Ocean State when that time comes.
Carter Aladretti had 2 hits last night for Newport. He went 2 for 3. Aladretti now on a 10-game hitting streak. He has now recorded a multi-hit game in 4 consecutive games. Dave, also as well, Newport is as a team hitting 234. That's a number that's continuing to go up.
Yeah, and definitely yesterday's game helped them. I mean, everybody was hitting the baseball well yesterday. Everybody got on base, got a hit. And you saw a lot of people even coming off the bench, getting good at-bats and getting RBIs. So this is a team that's still, starting to come around, and it's late. We know that. It's late. They're 4.5 games out of that 3rd spot, but, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, is what we like to say in Boston.
Weston, this is a Winnipesaukee team. It's been an up-and-down start for the Muskrats, coming off a huge 6-5 win over Sanford. In comeback fashion, Winnipesaukee pushes across 2 runs in that bottom of the 9th inning on a walk-off RBI double by Conrad McMahon, the Texas Rio Grande Valley product. Also scored on an error. Can you talk about that play and how crazy that was?
Oh, it was just a crazy ending to the ball game, and McMahon just put a good charge on the ball, hit it out to about middle center field, and DiMartino was able to score easily. And then, the throwing from the Sanford Mainers, it was the right fielder who threw an errant throw kind of off to the catcher. So McMahon was able to move up to 3rd, and then just the craziness when it was Dalton Brown fielded the ball and then threw it in the outfield. McMahon came around and slid in, and just a crazy finish. And every game in the Northern Division is huge now with the playoffs being as close as they are.
Kobe Claiborne leads this Muskrats team offensively. Out of Abilene Christian, he is hitting .348. Also tied for 2nd in the NECBL with 9 home runs. How important has he been to this offense?
Oh, it's been huge. I mean, every game he shows up and he has a crucial at-bat either in the beginning of the game or the ending of the game. The power's kind of settled down a little bit. He hasn't hit a home run since I believe it was the 15th against Plymouth, but he still puts up big at-bats. He's got about 4 or 5 extra base hits these last couple games. So hopefully you can get one here. I'm looking here, my first trip. He kind of got a big fence out in the outfield, so it's going to be hard for him to put one out, but definitely maybe can play with that wall and get a couple doubles or so.
Winnipesaukee currently in 5th place in the Northern Division standings here in the NECBL. They are 2.5 games behind Keene. Weston, is that the focus right now, the playoffs here for the Muskrats?
Yeah, I mean, every game from this point is huge. And a big game here today, 2 Southern Division opponents, as we'll go up and play New Bedford after this one. But it's a toss-up. The Muskrats have beaten every team that's in front of them, every team that's behind them, and they've also gotten beaten by every team that's in front of them. So It's going to come down to that last day. It was a big night last night because most of the teams that are in front of the Muskrats actually fell to their opponents they were playing. So much like the Newport Gulls, every game from this moment on is it's pretty much a must-win just to make those playoffs.
It's Winnipesaukee and Newport. First pitch set for 1 o'clock p.m. for Weston Atwood and Dave Peck. I'm Darren Zaslow. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the pregame show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It is time for the Manager's Show. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls manager Al Leyva. Al, a big win for this Newport team last night, 7-2 over New Bedford. Jack Patterson on the mound grabs his first win of the season. The Bryant Southpaw through 7 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs. He struck out 12 hitters. What'd you see from him?
Oh, it was fun to watch. I mean, he had his command. He was able to work both sides of the plate, up and down. And this is the outing before he had a real good outing too, up in Sanford. And unfortunately, he left the game. I think we had the lead, and we kind of gave it away. So he's had 2 good outings, and he's just getting stronger every time out.
Carter Aldretti, the Arizona State product, currently on a 10-game hitting streak. He had 2 hits last night. Also for Aldretti, he has recorded 4 multi-hit games in a row. How important has he been to this offense?
Well, everybody's important. All our hitters. If they execute, makes this team go. But Carter especially is just really, came to his own. He was out for about a month. So it took him a while to get going, just like everybody who's been off. And now he's really hitting his stride, and you're starting to see when they're hot, they do a pretty good job.
Newport, after playing Winnipesaukee here today, they'll travel out to Ocean State tonight for a 6:30 p.m. matchup with the Waves. Of course, a very interesting doubleheader. How do you keep this team focused for the home-away doubleheader?
Well, it basically started with last night. Obviously, coming off a win is real important. And like I told him, you got to go home and get some sleep. You got to make sure you get a lot of water in you, because when you cramp up is because you didn't drink enough water and Gatorade the night before. So, that's what I told him. It's going to be a long day, get everybody in there. What's nice for us is we have 6 reserve players, and, so maybe 3 or 4 of them will play back-to-back games, but for the most part, we have the rest for each other.
It's Newport and Winnipesaukee here at Cardines Field. First pitch set for 1 o'clock p.m. For the manager, Al Leyva, I'm Darren Zaslow. Newport Gulls baseball is up next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Once again, here's Darren Zaslow and the Newport Gulls broadcast team.
We'd like to welcome you into the broadcast booth here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. We are just about ready for a cross-divisional matchup here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League between the visiting Winnipesaukee Muskrats and the Newport Gulls. How you doing, everybody? Darren Zaslow with you here. A little bit of a different broadcasting crew here with you today for Game 1 of Newport's home-away doubleheader. Newport hosts Winnipesaukee here at 1 o'clock p.m. before traveling across the Pell Bridge to South Kingstown, Rhode Island tonight to take on the Ocean State Waves at 6:30 p.m. Of course, Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood, and also we're joined with Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo. Weston, let's start with you here with this Winnipesaukee team. The Muskrats 14-20 entering play here today, coming off a huge win over Sanford last night, 6-5. It was a walk-off 2 RBI double with an error by Conrad McMahon. The Texas Rio Grande Valley product helps Winnipesaukee win that game and record their 14th win of the season. A crazy game. We talked about it in the pregame show, but how big of a win was that for this Muskrats team? That's 2.5 games behind Keene for the 3rd and final playoff spot in the Northern Division.
Oh, I mean, it was huge. The Sanford Mainers were right there at 13-21 entering play. Muskrats were 13-20 entering the game, and it pretty much decided who was going to be able to contend for that final playoff spot. And Mainers got down to a quick 3-0 lead, but as we've seen for this Muskrats team time and time again, they've come back and probably the craziest finish to a ball game I've seen in quite some time. First walk-off of the season for the Muskrats, and good job by Conrad McMahon to put that ball in play, and then just heads-up base running on the aired throw by the pitcher Dalton Brown.
Absolutely, and JR, when you look at this Muskrats team, of course it's been an up and down year thus far through 44 games, just 10 games remaining for Winnipesaukee. In your eyes, what is the mindset of this team right now?
Well, they got to focus on where they want to be. They want to make playoffs, they got to focus on making playoffs. If they start focusing on anything else but making the playoffs, they're not going to make the playoffs. They got to have it in their head to make the playoffs, and they will. We lost some key players about a week ago, but we can overcome that. We just have to play some good baseball.
Certainly should be an interesting matchup here tonight, absolutely. And Newport coming off a huge win last night over New Bedford 7-2. The Gulls got an excellent starting outing from Jack Patterson, the Bryant product. Through 7 innings in that ball game, gave up just 2 earned runs on 3 hits. He struck out 12 hitters. Carter Aldretti extends his hitting streak to 10 games and has 4 consecutive multi-hit games in a row. Aldretti now hitting .292. Last night he went 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. For Winnipesaukee, a similar situation here in terms of what the rest of the day looks like. Of course, it's Newport and Winnipesaukee. First pitch here set for 1 o'clock p.m. But then the Muskrats will take the bus northwards up to New Bedford, Massachusetts to take on the Bay Sox at Paul Walsh Field at 6:30 p.m. So a huge day of baseball for both of these teams. Newport 4.5 games behind the Mystic Schooners for the 3rd and final playoff spot in the NECBL Southern Division. And of course, we talked about it, the Muskrats 2.5 games behind Keene. Winnipesaukee currently in 5th place in the Northern Division standings. Don't go anywhere. Of course, this is the NECBL Broadcast Network. When we come back, we will take you through last night's scoreboard. Don't go anywhere. NECBL action coming up next. And we welcome you back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, the city by the sea, the site for a cross-divisional matchup here in the NECBL between the visiting Winnipesaukee Muskrats and the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood, and Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo. And now we will send things over to J.R. Bravo for a look around last night's NECBL scoreboard. How you doing, J.R.?
I'm doing well. First off, my Winnipesaukee Muskrats won 6-5 in a walk-up in the bottom of the 9th. Next up, the Mystic Schooners won 6-3 against the Valley Blue Sox. Then we had the Ocean State Waves win 8-0 over the Vermont Mountaineers. Now we have the Upper Valley Nighthawks win 9-7 against the North Adams Steeplecats. The final between Plymouth Pilgrims and the Swamp Bats ended up in a 10-8 win for the Pilgrims. The Newport Gulls also won yesterday against the New Bedford Bay Sox.
Huge night last night in the NECBL, absolutely. And here tonight, or today I should say, big games for both of these two teams. Also, we'll take you through the NECBL standings here in the league. And of course, very, very key matchups here tonight as well. Take you through the north here to start things off. Upper Valley, of course, out in front. Pretty sizable lead out there. 4.5 games over the Valley Blue Sox, who are currently in 2nd place at 18-15. Then you have Keene in 3rd place at 17-18. That's the team Winnipesaukee is chasing right now. Vermont in 4th place. They're not out of it. 8.5 games back. They're 15-22 out of the playoff spot. Winnipesaukee, like we talked about, 2.5 games. The Muskrats entering play at 14-20, tied with the North Adams Steeplecats, who are also 9 games out, 2.5 games out of the final playoff spot, the number 3 seed. And then Sanford currently sitting in the basement of the Northern Division. The Mainers are 13-22, but defeated Newport in both matchups this year. In the Southern Division, Ocean State has been excellent this year. They're 25-9. They have a 5-game lead over the Plymouth Pilgrims, who are 21-15. Mystic, that's the team that Danbury, Newport, and New Bedford are all trying to chase. The Schooners are 19-16. They're 6.5 games back. But the Schooners, of course, probably have their minds set on that number 2 spot. They're a game and a half behind Plymouth. Danbury at 16-18, 9 games back. New Bedford Bay Sox 15-20. They're 10.5 out. And Newport 11 games back. So the Gulls, like we talked about, 4.5 games out of the 3rd and final playoff spot. Newport trying to chase Mystic. Winnipesaukee trying to chase Keene. That's how it all sets up here today. Doubleheaders for both of these teams. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will take you through the national anthem, get you starting lineups and first pitch between Winnipesaukee and Newport. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Just about ready for baseball here at Cardines Field. It's Winnipesaukee and Newport. A big afternoon contest for both of these teams. Playoff implications are in the cards as well. Now we will send things over to the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood, to take us around the Muskrats starting lineup.
Leading off tonight for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats will be the right fielder Tyler Belamovich from the University of Houston. Batting second, shortstop Sean Mazzio of Wagner College. Batting third, the dangerous left-handed hitter Kobe Claiborne, playing first base from Abilene Christian University. Batting fourth, the third baseman Mark Slaus from Brown University. Batting fifth, catcher tonight, or this afternoon I should say, J.D. Andreessen from Monmouth University. Batting sixth, the left fielder Greg Ludwig from Ashland University. Batting seventh, the second baseman Angel Perez Vargas of Fisher College. Batting eighth, the designated hitter Michael DiMartino of Southern Connecticut State University. And then rounding out the Muskrats lineup, the center fielder from my alma mater, Plymouth State University, Mr. Josh Goulet.
They'll go to work against Jonathan Heasley, the right-hander out of Oklahoma State, makes his first start of the season. He is 0-1 this year, a 4.66 ERA, 9.2 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits, has struck out 10. He has walked 7. And Newport's starting lineup looks like this for second-year manager Al Leyva. Leading off is going to be the left fielder Cameron Meisner out of Missouri. Batting second, the third baseman Carter Aladretti. He is from Arizona State, currently on a 10-game hitting streak. The first baseman is Gabe Snyder out of Wright State. The catcher here tonight, Ty Duvall out of Vanderbilt. Batting fifth, the second baseman Nick Durr from Florida State. J.J. Blade is in right field. He is from Vanderbilt and hitting sixth. Batting seventh, the center fielder Drew Archiolo from Fairfield. Batting eighth, the designated hitter Cade Cabanis out of Oklahoma State. And rounding out the Newport lineup is Bruce Steele, the shortstop from Wake Forest. On the mound here tonight for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats is Victor Danza, right-hander out of Lynn University. Does not have a decision. He has a 4.50 ERA. As Jonathan Heasley will toe the rubber. We'll get you your starting defensive alignment as well for Newport as Tyler Belamovich steps in, looks at a fastball in the inside corner for strike one. Belamovich out of Houston. From left to right around the Newport infield, Carter Aldretti is at third base, Bruce Steele at short. At second is Nick Durr, and at first is Gabe Snyder. As Heasley misses inside with a fastball there, the count evens at 1-1. From left to right in the Newport outfield, Cameron Meisner is in left field, Drew Archiolo in center, J.J. Blade in right. Catching the balls and strikes from Jonathan Heasley is Ty Duvall as he misses wide with a curveball there. It is 2-1. Your umpires here tonight, Cameron Haney behind home plate, and on the bases, Calvin Baker and Joe Gravina. Here's the 2-1. Skied in the air, foul right side out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Newport dressed in their home white uniforms with Gulls written in blue from left to right. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are blue outlined in orange. The Gulls also wear white pants with a blue and orange stripe down the sides as Belamovich goes down looking on an inside curveball for out number 1. First strikeout of the ball game for Heasley. 1 away. Laconia dressed in their road gray uniforms. Muskrats written in navy blue from left to right, outlined in yellow. The numbers on the front and the back of the jersey are light blue. The Muskrats also wear gray pants with a navy blue stripe down the sides as Sean Mazzio steps in. Big swing and a miss at a first pitch fastball there from Heasley. It is 0-1.
Yeah, Muskrats have struggled this season with strikeouts. They've struck out almost 287 times as a team. They'll have to check that this evening, or this afternoon, I should say.
Next pitch taken, down and away. It is 1-1. Your field dimensions at the ballpark: 315 to left field, 365 to left center, 395 to deep center field, 340 to right center field, 285 down the right field line as Heasley misses low there. The count 2-1 on Mazzio. Next offering, drilled foul down the right field line, 2-2. 340 feet, like we mentioned, to right center and 285 down that right field line. The fences at the ballpark are 28 feet high. Also get you the weather here in the Newport area.
Hot.
Certainly, 2-2 drilled. Deep right field, back on it to his left goes Blade, and it's off the fence as he leaps and cannot make the grab. Around first, heading for second is Mazzio. He will pull in there with a one-out double here in the top half of the first.
Good piece of hitting by Mazzio. He got all of that 2-1 pitch there and put it off the one of the UPS store sign over there. And big spot here now. Muskrats got to get runs early. It's something they've struggled with this season.
81 degrees here in the city by the sea. It'll touch down to about 80 around the 4:30 p.m. mark. But certainly the humidity has been felt, 58% humidity. 6 mile-per-hour winds. First pitch to Kobe Claiborne, who leads this Winnipesaukee team in hitting, is in there for a strike. Claiborne at first base here today. Off of second is Mazzio. He doubled off the right field fence. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Claiborne.
Yeah, Claiborne batting .348 this season. 10 doubles, 9 home runs, 25 total RBIs.
1-1 pitch. Skied foul, left side, out of play. And the count on Claiborne now pushes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Winnipesaukee trying to continue to build this momentum after the comeback walk-off victory against Sanford last night. Here's the 1-2, taken eye high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Claiborne. Thus far for Heasley, he has thrown 14 pitches, 8 strikes, 6 balls through a third of an inning. Claiborne this year, like we talked about, the .348 batting average, 39 hits and 112 at-bats, 21 runs scored. Grounds this one weakly to first. Glove there by Snyder, flips to Heasley, covering in time. 3-1, Claiborne is retired, but moving to third base is Mazzio, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Mark Slaus has also been hitting the ball well, .348 average this season, and a big spot here. Has to have a 2-out hit to bring Mazzio home for the first run of the ball game.
So we'll see what Mark Slaus can do. He's hitting .348 on the season, 24 for 69, 11 runs scored, 14 RBI, 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. He bats from the right side here. Swings a black-barreled bat, the tan handle. A lot of pine tar on that handle as well. Looks at a fastball up and inside. It's 1-0. We are in the top half of the first. 2 away, a runner on third for Winnipesaukee. The Muskrats and Gulls are scoreless. This one skied foul, right side, out of play. Many unique features here at the ballpark. Of the many unique features, the hockey-style dugouts located down the first base line. Newport's dugout closer to home plate. Winnipesaukee closer to first. As this one is lined into center field, it gets down. A base hit. Coming in to score is Mazzio. It's a 2-out RBI single for Mark Slaus to put the Muskrats ahead 1-0 here with 2 away in the top of the first.
Good job there by Slaus. Now has 15 RBIs in the season. That one, a nice little rocket right back out to center field. And early 1-0 lead for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats here on this doubleheader road trip.
Winnipesaukee this year, the big area of struggle has been pitching. It's a 4.94 team ERA. It's the second worst in the NECBL. But opponents are hitting .272 against Muskrats pitching. That's the highest opponent batting average in the league as J.D. Andreessen, the catcher out of Monmouth, steps in. Looks at a fastball at the knees on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Fair to say probably one of the bigger issues for this team.
Oh, definitely. The starting rotation's had its struggles these last couple weeks in the NECBL.
A 1 from Heasley, taken below the knees by Andreessen. It's 1-1. Andreessen this season hitting .247, 18 for 73, 9 runs scored, 23 RBI, 10 walks, 11 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1 in there for strike 2 inside corner. Andreessen also with 5 home runs, 23 RBI, also featured on this Winnipesaukee team. We talked about Claiborne, his 9 home runs in the NECBL, number 2 in the league. This one grounded to short. Moving to his left is Steele. He gloves it and steps on the second base bag in time for out number 3. It's a 6 unassisted fielder's choice, and that is how the top half of the first ends. But the damage has been done for the Muskrats. They push across, 1 run on 2 hits, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. The Gulls will take their first swings of the afternoon, and we come back right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. the bottom half of the first inning we go here at Cardines Field. Winnipesaukee with an early 1-0 lead off of a 2-out RBI single from Mark Slaus. Take you through the starting defensive alignment for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. From left to right around the infield, Mark Slaus mans the hot corner. He's at third base. Sean Mazzio is at shortstop. At second is Angel Perez Vargas. And at first is Kobe Claiborne. From left to right in the Winnipesaukee outfield, in left field is Greg Ludwig. In center field is Josh Goulet. And in right field is Tyler Belamovich. Catching the balls and strikes from Victor Danza is J.D. Andreessen as Cameron Meisner steps in out of Missouri, looks at a fastball high for ball one. Meisner this year has been excellent at the top of the lineup, a .351 batting average. He leads this Newport team. Danza sets and deals a fastball, called strike at the knees outside corner. 1-1. Meisner, 6 home runs, 21 RBI. He has 39 for 111. Has really been a mainstay in this Newport lineup as the 1-1 two-seam fastball taken up and away. The count 2-1. We are in the bottom half of the first. No outs, the base is empty. 1-0 Winnipesaukee. And Weston, that is certainly important to have an early lead.
Yeah, especially with this pitching staff. You want to get as many runs as you can early on.
2-1 curveball called strike on the outer black, 2-2.
I believe this is actually the first time that Danza has had a lead in his pitching appearances. Only his second or third start this season.
Works exclusively out of the stretch, sets the tan glove letter high. This one drilled. Right center field. It'll get down in front of Goulet, moving to his left for a base hit. It's a leadoff single for Cameron Meisner, Newport in business for Carter Allegretti, the third baseman out of Arizona State.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there by Meisner. He was able to get a piece of one from that left side of the batter's box and send it out to center field here. One thing I noticed getting off the bus is the wall here at center field in Cardines kind of curves in a little bit, then juts back out. So a good spot to pop that one right in front of that fence.
You bring up a great point. 2 deep triangles located here at the ballpark, and you can see them on your screen in front of you. One in center field and one in right center field. As Allegretti takes a two-seam fastball rising inside for ball one. And that's exactly because of how these fences are constructed. That right center field indent that also you can see on your screen in front of you, 315 feet, very short. As Allegretti check swings and gets a piece of that pitch. Fouls it off to the right side, 1-1. Allegretti hitting .292. We talked about it on a 10-game hitting streak. He has also had 4 consecutive games where he has recorded multi-hits. Next offering, drilled down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. Over the warehouse, which is currently being shown on your screen. The Cardines Field scoreboard is located down the right field line. It's black and white. The numbers light up in red. Right next to the American flag, which waves over top the warehouse as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Allegretti. The pitch home. Curveball waved at and missed for strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game for Danza, who enters play here today. A 4.05 ERA in 6.2 innings pitched. That was his 7th strikeout of the season. This one for out number 1 in the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, had a good relief outing, his first appearance for the Muskrats up in Goodall Park in Sanford, Maine. But aside from that, his last time at the start, he was struggled a little bit early on. So good job to get that strikeout after giving up the leadoff single.
Here's Gabe Snyder, the first baseman out of Wright State. Meisner takes off, pitched outside, throw to second from Andreessen, not in time. It's a stolen base for Meisner.
Good job there by Perez Vargas to back up that throw. Otherwise, that would end up in center field, and we'd have a runner on third here for the Gulls.
Newport trying to get on the board here. 1 away, a runner on second, and Meisner. It's a 1-0 count to Snyder, who's hitting .262 this season. Bats from the left side. The pitch on the way from Danza. 2-seam fastball clips the outside corner at the knees, 1-1. Danza out of Lynn University, a Division II school. Sets the tan glove at the shoulders, looks towards Meisner at second. Once deals a curveball home, it misses up and away. Now 2-1 on Snyder. Danza with limited innings like we talked about entering play. Averaging about a strikeout an inning. Gets the sign from Andreessen, who sets the target low and away. The pitch on the way. 2-1. Taken down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Danza thus far has thrown 13 pitches, 7 of which have been for strikes. 6 have been for balls. He resides in Brooklyn, New York. Works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber with a look towards second. Here's the 3-1. Changeup misses up and away for ball 4. It's a 1-out walk to Gabe Snyder. Puts runners on first and second, but Weston, no damage really done there. A ground ball could set up a double play to get Winnipesaukee out of the inning.
Yeah, and you like that if you're the Muskrats, but aside from that, the walks really concern you. That's now the 146th walk given up this season by the Muskrats. They've had issues really finding the strike zone in the starting rotation the last couple of weeks here in the NECBL.
Danza transferred to Lynn University from the University of Maine this past year. And at Lynn, he made 11 appearances with 5 starts as Duvall steps in, fouls off the first pitch off of the catcher, Andreessen. It is 0-1. At Lynn this past year, 31.1 innings pitched. Struck out 15, had a 5.46 ERA and a 3-0 record. This year, Danza for Winnipesaukee. We talked about the 4.05 ERA and the 6.2 innings pitched. Next offering to Duvall runs wide. The count 1-1. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 6 hits. He has given up 3 total earned runs this year. He's trying to get out of the inning here against Winnipesaukee. 2 runners on base for Newport. Pitch home. Curveball. Called strike outside corner, 1-2. Good breaking ball there by Danza.
Yeah, if he can get that pitch working for the rest of this outing, he's going to be okay. That was a nice breaking ball there that Duvall couldn't do anything with.
Duvall bats from the left side, swings an all-black bat. Black elbow guard on the front elbow. Danza, a long pause on the mound, a couple looks towards second, 1-2. Two-seam fastball clips the outside corner for strike 3. Second strikeout of the contest for Danza. And that is out number 2 to bring up the second baseman out of Florida State in Nick Durr.
Yeah, second K of the afternoon for Danza, and after giving up the single and picking up the walk, he's kind of settling down a little bit here.
He's throwing strikes. You know, he's been effective. He's been getting ahead for the most part. Here's Nick Durr, the second baseman. Steps in from the right side. Durr hitting 158 on the year, 6 for 38, a run scored, an RBI. 9 walks and 13 strikeouts. The pitch fouled straight back. 0-1 on Nick Durr. We are in the bottom half of the first. 2 away, runners on first and second for Newport, who trails Winnipesaukee 1-0.
Even when you have this nice chain link fencer, I'm still gun shy from Robbie Mills every time my ball gets hit backwards.
Danza out of the stretch. The 0-1. Fastball misses downstairs. 1 ball and a strike on Nick Durr.
For those of you that don't know, up at Robbie Mills, a very short backstop fence to our press box, and foul balls end up there on occasion. We've only had 2 this season, but it was a long time ago, which just means we're due.
1-1 on the way. Curveball misses low and inside, almost hits Durr on the front calf. Spins out of the way of that one. The count 2-1 on Durr. J.J. Blade waits on deck. Durr resides in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Bats from the right side here. Wears the blue and orange batting glove. Swings an all-black bat. Slightly bent knees and a squared stance for Durr. The next offering, a fastball in there on the outside corner, 2-2. Right at the knees, a great pitch from Danza. Cameron Meisner led off the inning with a single. He would steal second. Aldretti struck out. Snyder walked. Duvall also struck out. Sets the scene here for Durr with 2 away. Runners on first and second in the bottom of the first. Winnipesaukee with an early 1-0 lead. Winnipesaukee out hitting Newport 2-1 thus far. Big spot here. Danza tucks the tan glove about letter high as he leans over his front side hip to get the sign from Andreessen. The pitch on the way home. This one sharply grounded to short. A high hopper. Gloved there by Mazzio. Flips to Perez Vargas covering second base in time. 6-4. Fielder's choice will end the bottom half of the first inning. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. The Gulls leave 2 aboard with no Winnipesaukee errors. We are through 1 full inning of play here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island with a score. Winnipesaukee 1, Newport 0. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top half of inning number 2 we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Winnipesaukee with an early 1-0 lead. Hitters 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Muskrats. Greg Ludwig, Angel Perez Vargas, and Michael DiMartino will step up to the plate as Ludwig looks at a fastball up and away for ball 1. Next offering fouled straight back, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. And Weston, we were talking about this in the pregame show, how the Muskrats certainly have their eyes set on the playoffs. Do you think, that adds any extra pressure to them on these games as Ludwig takes a curveball low and away?
I think there's maybe a little bit of added pressure that the players feel, but at the same time, too, they're here, they're having a good time, and it's going to fall the way it falls. You just got to play your best baseball, take it inning by inning, and see what happens. 2-1,
a sinking liner to short. Picked there on the short hop by Steele. Shuffles to his left and throws out Ludwig. 6-3, the Ashland left fielder is retired for out number 1. And here is Angel Perez Vargas, the second baseman out of Fisher College. Perez Vargas this season for the Muskrats, hitting .220 on the year, 13 for 59, 6 runs scored and 6 RBI for the Millville, New Jersey native. Bats from the right side here, wears the all-black batting glove, swings a black-barreled bat and a tan handle. Looks at a fastball wide of the zone for ball 1. 1 away, the base is empty. Top 2. Winnipesaukee leads Newport 1-0. Next pitch from Heasley, skied, foul down the right field line. It gets out of play. And the count levels at a ball and a strike. Heasley with a very good season at Oklahoma State this past spring for the Cowboys that won the Big 12. Next offering, swing and a miss, elevated fastball 1-2. Heasley threw 38 innings for the Cowboys this year of Oklahoma State, made 22 appearances and 5 starts. He went 2-4. Had a 3.55 ERA, struck out 31, gave up 31 hits, 19 walks, 15 earned runs, and 3 saves. As this one is skied in the air, center of the infield off the bat of Perez Vargas. The second baseman, Durr, reaches up and makes the grab on the shortstop side of second base. On the move to his right, 2 away.
Yeah, Perez just getting underneath that one a little bit and just hitting a pop over there that Durr could camp under easily.
Here is Michael DiMartino, the designated hitter out of a Southern Connecticut State. Bats from the left side against Heasley. He's hitting 197, 12 for 61. Looks at a breaking ball away, and the count is 0-1 to clip the outside corner. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled left side. 0-2. Heasley jumps ahead. He's been very effective really since that first inning. He has thrown 32 pitches, 21 of which have been for strikes. He's getting ahead. Works quickly here and deals the 0-2. Curveball. This one chopped weakly, foul off the front foot there of DiMartino. The count holds at 0-2. It's a Winnipesaukee team that has a 960 fielding percentage. That's tied for number 9. The Muskrats will take on New Bedford tonight, similar to Newport in the traveling doubleheader, as DiMartino looks at a fastball away, 1-2. Wears a navy blue arm sleeve on the left side arm, tan-barreled bat, black handle, check swing on a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for strike 3. Down looking goes DiMartino, and for Heasley, it's the second strikeout of the ball game for the Oklahoma State right-hander. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. Newport will try and answer the Muskrats, who lead 1-0. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the bottom half of inning number 2 we go. Here at Cardines Field, Winnipesaukee with an early 1-0 lead over the Newport Gulls. Newport will try and answer here with hitters 6, 7, and 8. J.J. Blade, Drew Archiolo, Cade Cabanis. Blade out of Vanderbilt steps in from the left side. He stands tall with an open stance. Danza works out of the stretch once again, deals a fastball. It's in there at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1 on J.J. Blade. Blade this year for Newport, hitting 136. Next offering runs up and away, and the count 1-1. Blade 6 for 44, 6 runs scored and 4 RBI. 8 walks, 15 strikeouts for the Panama City Beach, Florida native. 1-1 from Danza, misses outside. 2-1 on Blade, who Played a lot this year for the Vanderbilt Commodores. 6'3", 196 pounds. Next offering. Misses low and inside with a breaking ball. It's a curveball that Blade was able to lay off of 3-1. Blade hit .256 in 51 games played and 48 starts for Vanderbilt this year. 3-1 skied in the air, foul down the left field line. It slices out of play as the count pushes full to 3-2 on Blade. Was able to work 34 walks for Vanderbilt and a .384 on base percentage. Those 34 walks, the second best on the team. He drills this one to deep left center field. It'll get down in the alley and one hop the fence. Blade digging for second. He will pull in ahead of the throw from Goulet. It's cut off. It's a leadoff double for J.J. Blade. Once again, Weston, Newport able to put the leadoff man on base.
Yeah, I mean, the Gulls have seen Danza really well here in these first couple innings, and Meisner had that nice single early on, and now to lead off here, J.J. Blade puts one over towards that ivy in left field, and trouble here now is it's a runner on second with no outs for the Newport Gulls.
Here's Drew Archiolo. He's hitting .218 this year, 17 for 78. 13 runs scored, 4 RBI. 7 walks and 9 strikeouts for the Milford, Connecticut native. Bunts this one off to the right side of the mound. Under the glove of Danza, picked up by the second baseman, Perez Vargas, but he has no play. To third base goes Blade. We'll see how they want to rule. It's going to be an error there on Danza, but Drew Archiolo does the job. It puts runners on the corners for Cade Cabanas.
Yeah, tough break there for Danza. Got the glove down, but kind of just had it slip underneath. And big spot now, as you mentioned, runners on the corners, and the Muskrats in danger of losing their 1-run lead.
Big spot for Cabanas. He's hitting .172 this year. 10 for 58, 10 runs scored for the Tulsa, Oklahoma native. He bats from the left side. First pitch, big swing and a miss. 0-1 on Cabanas. He swings the all-orange bat. Wears a black and orange ankle guard on the front side foot. Also has a royal blue wrist protector on the left side wrist. Looks at a fastball that rises up and away. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that orange bat, something that always stands out when you look at it, and that's something you usually see in the NECBL.
Big spot for Cabanas. He steps back in, his back foot on the back line in the left-handed batter's box. You can see it pretty clearly. 1-1 curveball taken wide. 2-1 on Cabanas. Was a wide receiver at Bixby High School. 6'3", 215 pounds. Was a 21st round draft pick to the St. Louis Cardinals last year, as he fouls off this next pitch and the count evens at 2-2. Played in 42 games for Oklahoma State this past spring, made 31 starts. He hit .274, 2 home runs and 15 RBI, had a .359 on base percentage. Danza sets and deals the 2-2. This one absolutely drilled. Deep center field, backtracking is Goulet to the fence, looks up, and it's a Gulls goner off the bat of Cade Cabanas, his first home run of the year. This one a 3-run shot to put Newport ahead 3-1 in the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, Cabanas got all of that one there. Nothing Danza could have done with that, just a pitch he put right in the heart of the plate, and Cabanas sees it and sends it out to the deepest part of center field you can.
What a great piece of hitting there by Cade Cabanas. Newport ahead just like that. And Weston, I'll tell you what, you were talking about that right center field indent, I think, around the first inning. And certainly, I mean, that ball would have gotten out of most parks. But it definitely makes, tracking balls in the outfield more difficult for sure. And as Bruce Steele, the shortstop, steps in, squares around the bunt, pulls back and sees a called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. So it's definitely different than most ballparks, especially Robbie Mills Field.
Oh yeah, bandbox Robbie Mills, and especially here you have that, you said 28-foot fence out there, so to get one out of here, you have to put a charge in it.
The 0-1 from Danza, curveball misses above the head of Steele. 1-1 on the Wake Forest shortstop, who is hitting .203 this year. Danza working exclusively out of the stretch position. Gets his sign from Andreessen and sets the tan glove shoulder high. 1-1 curveball taken outside corner for strike 2. Steele 13 for 64 this year, no home runs and 9 RBI, 30 strikeouts. Danza deals home. A curveball waved out and missed at a pitch in the dirt, blocked well by Andreessen. A high throw to first. Grabbed there by Claiborne. He steps on the bag in time for out number 1. Third strikeout for Danza. And I'll tell you what, Weston, he's been effective. Of course, you see those 3 runs given up. But besides that walk to Snyder, he's been throwing a lot of strikes, and that's what you want to do. He's at least been throwing the ball over the plate. He's making Newport beat him with the bats. Cameron Meisner digs in, hits this one in the air, left center field, moving out to his left is Ludwig. He dives and can't make the play. It'll drop in behind him for a base hit as Goulet picks it up in the alley and holds Meisner to a single. And Meisner, 2 for 2 out of the leadoff spot, brings up Carter Aldretti. This Newport offense starting to click.
Yeah, as you mentioned back at Danza, he's had his breaking ball working rather effectively. He's finding the strike zone, but unfortunately the Newport Gulls are either swinging on top of it and missing it, or they're doing what they just did there, hitting it to the deepest part of the outfield. Going deep was Cabinets, and now a nice a single there for Meisner, second hit of the night.
This is Carter Aldretti, the third baseman out of Arizona State, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pitch from Danza, called strike. Stealing second is Meisner. He slides in without a throw from Andreessen. Stolen base for Meisner. Count 0-1 on Aldretti. Newport leads 3-1 with 1 out. In the bottom of the second, a runner on second, and Meisner takes a walking lead off the bag. Danza out of the stretch. The pitch home. Curveball blocked in the dirt. Another great job there by Andreessen. And the count levels at 1-1 on Aldretti.
Yeah, Muskrats catches this season done a really good job behind the plate in eliminating wild pitches, eliminating pass balls just by being able to get in front of it and blocking it. We've seen it from Andreessen, Slaus, and even Michael DiMartino when he catches.
We'll see what Danza wants to go to here with the 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Curveball drilled down the right field line and will get foul and over the warehouse. 1-2. Newport out hitting Winnipesaukee 4-2. All ready for the Gulls in the frame. 3 runs scored off the 3-run blast by Cade Cabinets over the center field fence, his first home run of the season. Aldretti steps back in from the right side. The 1-2. Fastball. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Down looking goes Aldretti as he is retired on strikes for the second time here tonight. Danza with 4 strikeouts through 1 2/3. We'll see what Gabe Snyder can do, and that's what I'm talking about, Weston. He's been effective.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hitting the zone. He's got great breaking stuff. Unfortunately, it's either hit or miss. He's picking up strikeouts fourth of the ball game, but then the Gulls are also able to tattoo him for 3 runs we've seen in this inning. So he just has to effectively maybe kind of mix it up a little bit more and fool these hitters a little bit better.
Gabe Snyder walked back in the first. No official at-bats here today. Drills this one foul down the left field line, 0-1. Snyder a little late on that offering from Danza. It was a fastball away. Newport leads 3-1 over Winnipesaukee. 2 away, a runner on second in the bottom half of the second. Snyder is ready, so is Danza. It's a Lynn University Wright State matchup as he misses high with a breaking ball, a curveball, and the count 1-1.
Nice crowd filing in here at Cardines for a Saturday afternoon game that's actually a makeup game.
Certainly, and of course a part of a doubleheader for both of these teams, who will be playing different opponents around the evening time as Snyder skies this one in the air, a pop-up left side of the infield. The third baseman, Slaus, has some trouble with it, but puts it away off to the left side of the mound for out number 3. And the inning is over, but the damage has been done for Newport. 3 runs on 3 hits. The Gulls leave one aboard with 1 Winnipesaukee error. The Cade Cabinets 3-run home run gives Newport a 3-1 lead as we go to the top half of the third, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the top of inning number 3 here at Cardines Field in the city by the sea. Newport, Rhode Island, the site for a cross-divisional matchup here in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. It's Winnipesaukee and Newport the Gulls currently with a 3-1 lead over the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, and we'll see if the Muskrats can answer Newport's 3-run second inning. A 3-run homer off the bat of Cade Cavanis gives Newport the 2-run lead. Josh Goulet, Tyler Belamovich, Sean Mazzio all due up for the Muskrats as Goulet steps in, the center fielder out of Plymouth State. Squares around to bunt and pulls back as the fastball clips the outside black for strike one. It's 0-1 on Goulet. Next offering. Misses upstairs. Another fastball there from Heasley. 1-1. Goulet this year for the Muskrats is hitting .106. He is 5 for 47 with 6 runs scored. 1-1 fastball called strike at the knees on the outer third. And the count 1-2.
Yeah, I got a big hit last night against the Sanford Mainers that finally pushed that average over 100. He was batting about .051 just a few weeks ago.
And the 1-2 offering. Fastball hit in the air. Deep right center field, back on it to his left goes Archiolo, looks up, it's off the fence. Around first, heading for second is Goulet. He's going to try for 3. The relay from Steele to third, not in time. A leadoff triple for Josh Goulet. Winnipesaukee in business here for the top of the order, and Tyler Belamovich.
Yeah, Goulet hit that ball really well off of the deep right field triangle here off the fence, and J.J. Blade kind of went in field and then hit the turf as he got down. Had to toss it up to Archiolo to get it into third base, but big leadoff triple for the Muskrats having in business.
We'll see what the Muskrats can do. This is Tyler Belamovich, the right fielder from Houston, steps in. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes a changeup inside for ball 1. Belamovich hitting .321. He's gotten off to a great start. 26 for 80, 25 runs scored. Resides in Cypress, Texas. Takes another curveball up and in. 2-0. Heasley falls behind. Belamovich, the leadoff man for the Muskrats. It's definitely been an offensive first few innings here for both of these teams. 4 combined runs, 7 combined hits. Belamovich fouls this one off right side out of play. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Heasley has thrown 42 pitches through 2 innings of work, 27 strikes, 15 balls. 2-1, taken down and away, 3 balls and a strike. This is Heasley's first start of the season as well. Certainly a transition going from the bullpen to a starting role. 3-1 fastball misses low for ball 4. A no-out walk to Tyler Belamovich puts runners on the corners for Sean Mazzio, who is 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored. A very good offensive player to have up at the plate here for the Muskrats, Weston.
Yeah, Muskrats have a very dangerous 2-3-4 combination in Mazzio, Claiborne, and Slouse. And good job there by Belamovich to work the walk, his 13th of the season, and tying run. Earlier talked about the tying run, but nonetheless it's over there on first base now for the Muskrats.
Heasley sets the tan glove, letter high, lifts the leg, the pitch home, fastball, misses off the outer edge for ball 1. Heasley's last 5 pitches, 4 of them have been out of the strike zone. Third baseman Andretti plays even with the third base bag. 1-0. Curveball gets away from Duvall. Trying to score is Goulet. He will cross the plate. To second base goes Belamovich. It's 3-2 Newport. See how they want to rule it, a pass ball or a wild pitch. It's going to be a wild pitch. That'll do the job here in the count on Mazzio, 2-0.
Yeah, it was going to be tough for Duvall to make a play on that ball in the dirt, and big spot now. Runner gained back by the Muskrats, and now Belamovich stands over at second base as well.
Heasley fires home as Mazzio squares the bunt. Pops it up foul behind home plate. 2-1. So credit the job of Josh Goulet to start off this frame with a triple off the right center field fence. Archiolo had no chance because of the way that fence is constructed. Creates a longer run and a longer route to the baseball that center fielders have to take to even have a play on that. Heasley steps off and looks back. Belamovich towards second base. Like we talked about with Heasley at Oklahoma State. Did make a couple starts this year for the Cowboys, who won the Big 12. Made 5 starts in 22 appearances. Mazzio fouls this one off behind home plate. It will get out of play. The count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Through 38 innings, had a 3.55 ERA, did Heasley. Struck out 31 over those 38 frames. He was 2-4. Tucks that tan glove about hip high, gets the sign from Duvall. The target set low and in, the pitch home. Sharply grounded the short. Charging in is Steele. Has time, throw to first. Retires Mazzio by a step for out number 1. So here's Kobe Claiborne, the first baseman from Abilene Christian, 0 for 1 with a ground out. Wears the high light blue socks with a navy blue ankle guard on the front side foot. That's from the left side here. He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, harkening back to the old days of the old knee highs. The only one on the Muskrats who rocks that, but I dig it. I'm a big fan of the knee high sock look.
We'll see what Heasley wants to go with here. First pitch. Changeup misses high. 1-0 on Claiborne. We are in the top half of the third. 1 away, a runner on second. 3-2, Newport with a lead over Winnipesaukee. But the Muskrats threatening here. Off of second is Belamovich. He walked. Heasley looks at him a few times. Now deals home a fastball. Runs wide of the outer third. 2-0. Winnipesaukee trying to tie up this ball game with timely hitting. Next offering, Scott foul, third base side, 2-1. Winnipesaukee will travel northwards to New Bedford, Massachusetts to take on the Bay Sox tonight in what is pretty much the opposite for Newport, an away-home doubleheader, or an away-away doubleheader, pardon me. Newport will be, of course, home here in this game against Winnipesaukee, and then we'll travel across the Powell Bridge to take on Ocean State tonight. Heasley looks at Belamovich on second, deals home a fastball. Dropped there by Duvall. Belamovich trying to advance to third. He does ahead of Duvall's throw, and the tag from Aldretti not in time. See how they want to rule that. It's going to be a pass ball. Pitch was inside. It's 3-1 on Kobe Claiborne. And Weston, that's a huge advancement of 90 feet as this one is drilled. Deep center field. Looking up is Archiolo, and that ball is gone. It's a 2-run home run for Kobe Claiborne. His 10th of the season ties the NECBL lead, and it puts Winnipesaukee ahead 4-3 with the 2-run blast.
Yeah, Claiborne, as we said, kind of struggled power-wise. Hadn't hit that home run since the 15th against Plymouth in pregame, but found one he could do something with there, and has finally hit double digits in home runs. That one about the same spot that Cabe Cabin has hit his last inning. So just like that, the Muskrats regain the lead here 4-3. Good job by Claiborne to get a hold of that one.
Well struck. Here is Mark Slaus, the third baseman from Brown. So here he is. That's from the right side. Looks at a fastball knee high outside corner, 0-1. Certainly looks like to be an offensive game. Slaus 1 for 1 with a single. Next pitch from Heasley. Changeup. Swung on and missed over top the break. 0-2.
Been proven wrong here. I was thinking there wouldn't be that many home runs with this high fence, but so far 2 in the ball game.
Changeup misses low and inside, 1-2. Certainly. Heasley works out of the windup, holds the tan glove in front of the face, puts it over his head. Next pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. 4, strike 3. Excellent pitch there from Heasley. It is his third strikeout of the contest. This one for out number 2.
Yeah, Heasley reached back and found another level there. He was just dealing some hard stuff, and Slaus could not get on top of it.
So here's J.D. Andreessen, the catcher out of Monmouth. 0 for 1. Grounded into an inning-ending fielder's choice in the first. Winnipesaukee with 1 run in the first and 3 here in the third. Looks at a curveball in the dirt for ball 1. The Muskrats have scored those 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. A triple and a home run. Next pitch, fastball, strike 1 called outside corner. 1-1 on Andreessen. We are in the top of the third. 2 outs, the base is empty. 4-3, Winnipesaukee leads. Next pitch, taken down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Heasley holding that tan glove in front of his face. Once again, puts it over the head, the high leg kick, the pitch home. Fastball in there on the outside corner. At the knees for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs off of a ground out from Sean Mazzio and a strikeout to Mark Slaus. Break-even delivery. Change-up skipped in the dirt, 3-2. Heasley is starting to see that pitch count climb here in the ball game. He has thrown 63 pitches. 3-2 pitch. Curveball skied in the air, shallow right field. Durr and Blade will converge. It will be the second baseman, Durr, who puts it away on the move. Back into his left for out number 3. But the Muskrats take a 4-3 lead. They push across 3 runs on 2 hits. The big one being the 2-run home run from Kobe Claiborne. Winnipesaukee leads 4-3. We go to the bottom half of the third right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom half of inning number 3 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Winnipesaukee with a 4-3 lead over Newport. Darren Zaslow with you here. Joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxad, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood. And now we will send things over to Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo for a current look at the NECBL standings. Why don't you take us through those, J.R.?
All right, in the Northern Division, we have the Upper Valley Nighthawks sitting at 24-12. That's a 6.67 winning percentage. In second place, we have the Valley Blue Sox sitting 18-15. In third, we have the Keene Swampbats.
As Ty Duvall steps in, takes a swing and a miss at the first pitch, 0-1.
The Keene Swampbats are in third and 17-18, 6.5 games back from first. And the Vermont Mountaineers are 15-20, 8.5 games back.
Next pitch, fastball taken away, 1-1.
In fifth place, the Winnipesaukee Muskrats are sitting 14-20 with 9 games back. And in seventh, we have the North Adams Steeplecats, 14-20, are also 9 games back. And in last place in the Northern Division, you have the Sanford Mainers, 13-22.
Curveball missed low there to Duvall. We'll wait for the next pitch and then send things back over to JR for the Southern Division standings. Curveball in there on the outside corner, 2-2.
For the Southern Division, you have the Ocean State Waves at 25-9, a league best record at 735 winning percentage. Then you have the Plymouth Pilgrims at 21-15, 5 games back.
2-2 fastball taken down and away, 3-2 on Duvall.
In third place, you have the Mystic Schooners, 19-16. They are 6.5 games back. In fourth, you have the Danbury Westerners.
It's been grounded foul first base side. Duvall stays alive, 3-2.
The Westerners are 16-18 with a .471 winning percentage, 9 games back. In fifth place, you have the New Bedford Bay Sox, which are 15-20 and 10.5 games back. And last but last need.
And the next curveball once again fouled off there by Duvall. He stays alive. Back over to you, JR.
And last but not least, your Newport Gulls are 13-19 with a .406 winning percentage, and they are 11 games back.
Thank you so much, JR. Those are your NECBL standings. This is a big game for both of these teams. Payoff pitch from Danza misses up and away for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to Ty Duvall. He is aboard for Nick Durr, the second baseman. Reached on a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the first inning. On that ground out, Durr 0 for 1. Bats from the right side here out of Florida State. Big spot here for Newport, trying to answer Winnipesaukee. A very high-scoring ball game thus far. 4-3, Muskrats lead over the Gulls. Both teams have 4 hits thus far. Danza out of the stretch, the pitch home. Fastball skied foul behind home plate and out of play over our heads here in the broadcast booth. 0-1 on Nick Durr.
How many foul balls you end up in that road out there? I've wondered that. I've seen about 6 or 7 since we've gotten here.
Yeah, a lot, certainly. And we are, of course, here located near streets in the Newport area. 0-1 on the way. Durr squares around the bunt, gets it down. First base side, going to be a tough play for Danza. Picks it up, throws on the first, and Durr is retired 1-3. But it does the job on a sacrifice bunt. Moving to second base is Ty Duvall. Newport in business with a runner on in scoring position for J.J. Blade, who is 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bunt there by Durr, and one of those ones where you saw where Arculo tried to put one down, and Danza squibbed it in the infield, so a good idea by him to just try to get one down so he could reach first base.
Blade steps in from the left side. He is hitting on the season 156. Lays off a high fastball there, 1-0. Blade swings an all-black bat, wears the blue and orange batting gloves. He adjusts his helmet as he pinwheels the bat in front of him. Danza works out of the stretch. The leg kick, the curveball, in there on the outside corner, 1-1. The American flag slightly waving there down the right field line atop the warehouse. 6-mile-an-hour winds here in the city by the sea. 81 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Next pitch, curveball taken low, 2-1 on Blade.
Yeah, breeze that makes it quite comfortable up here in the broadcaster's booth. It was really warm when we first stepped off the bus, but that breeze has been a real big factor in kind of cooling it down a little bit up here.
Certainly, a very nice afternoon for baseball. Danza looks at Duvall a few times on second, a long pause, 2-1. This one crushed deep right center field. Back on it goes Goulet, reaches up and puts it away in front of the fence for out number 2. It's an F8 as Goulet is retired by Goulet.
It was a great play there by Goulet. Ball was rocketed out to center field, but he was able to kind of range back. Have to do a little bit of glove work there, but came away with it nonetheless. Now 2 down, big second out in this inning for the Muskrats.
Here is Drew Archiolo. Reached on an error and has scored a run thus far here today. Big spot for Archiolo with Duvall on second base, who led off the frame with a walk. Moved to second on the sac bunt from Durr, but Blade flew out to center field to Goulet. Next pitch to Archiolo in there. 0-1 on the Fairfield center fielder. Drew Archiolo had an excellent year for Fairfield this season. Hit .326 in 55 games played and 55 starts. Next pitch, fastball called strike outside corner, 0-2. Archiolo, 74 hits and 227 at bats, 3 home runs, 32 RBI, a .392 on base percentage. Led his team in at bats and tied a team leading games played and started. He also had the second most hits on the team. This one, chopped left side, backhanded stop by Mazzio, throw across his body to first, not in time. To third base goes Duvall. Has to be an infield single there for Archiolo, and it is. Puts runners on the corners for Cade Cabanis. 1 for 1 with a 3-run home run. He's been great here today. The designated hitter out of Oklahoma State. Newport would love to tie this ball game here. A big opportunity to do it. The Gulls have put the leadoff man aboard 3 times tonight in 3 tries. Cameron Meisner at the top of the order, 2 for 2, pacing Newport's offense currently. As Danza will throw over to first, back in standing up is Archiolo. Cabanis steps in from the left side, swings an all-orange bat. Stands tall with an open stance. Pitch from Danza, fastball, called strike outside corner, 0-1.
Gotta imagine Cabanis has some deja vu here. When he was up last time, he had runners on the corners. Runners on the corners here once more. Last time he put one out to center field. See what he does here.
Off of first is Archiolo. He's singled. Off of third is Duvall. 2 outs in the frame off a sac bunt and a flyout. Next pitch taken down and away, 1-1. Danza going back to the fastball.
You can sense Danza now really trying to work the corners here on Cabanis. He's not going to try to put one right down Main Street like he did last time.
The Big 12 champion Oklahoma State Cowboys went to the Fayetteville Regional in the NCAA tournament. Next pitch, swung on and missed, a curveball in the dirt, 1-2 on Cabanis. The Cowboys, though, were eliminated by Oral Roberts, as Oklahoma State earned the number 3 seed in that Fayetteville Regional. Cabanis steps back in from the left side. We're awaiting a big pitch here between Danza and Cabanis. 2 away, runners on the corners, 4-3. Winnipesaukee, curveball swung on and missed. Stealing second was Archiolo. Throw to first from Andreessen. Off the drop, third strike is in time, and the inning is over. For Newport, the Gulls can't push any runs across. On 1 hit, they leave 2 aboard with no Winnipesaukee errors. We are through 3 full innings of play here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island, with a score: Winnipesaukee 4, Newport 3 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We go to the top half of the fourth. Winnipesaukee with a 4-3 lead over Newport. Now we'll turn over the play-by-play reins to the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood.
Thank you, Dan. First pitcher, Greg Ludwig, will be swung on and missed for a strike. 0-1 pitch now from Heasley. Ludwig will line it out to right field, and it's a leadoff single for the left fielder and Greg Ludwig, who to the point was 0 for 1, but now gets his first hit of the afternoon.
It's really been a very offensive game for both of these teams, and that's something that certain fans love to see. And the defense has been there. The pitching has been spotty, but has kept both teams in this ball game. It's been a very well-rounded game thus far from both of these rosters.
Back and forth has been the score. It was an early 1-0 lead for the Muskrats, who's got a run back in the first off the single by Mark Slaus. Then the 2-run home run by Kobe Claiborne really gave him back the 4-3 lead, as Perez Vargas will show bunt, but popped that one back foul out of play. Vargas is 0 for 1. He popped out in the second inning. Over to Durr at second base. Got Ludwig over on first after the leadoff single. Heasley kicks in, fires. Perez shows bunt again. He puts this one down. On to second goes Heasley. Smart play will get the out. Perez Vargas will reach first base on the fielder's choice, but Darren, great wherewithal by Jonathan Heasley to field that ball cleanly and then turn around straight and go to second base.
Absolutely. It's a great play there by Heasley, and a very underrated thing for lots of pitchers, defense. How well can you field your position? And Heasley there with a heads-up play. Also, the North and South Division rosters in the All-Star game have been announced, and we will share Winnipesaukee and Newport's All-Star picks with you here during the ball game, which is certainly very exciting.
First pitch to Michael DiMartino will miss outside for a ball. DiMartino struck out looking back in the second inning, and yeah, that All-Star game coming up next Sunday down in up in North Adams, Massachusetts, I should say, as DiMartino puts a drive on one out to right center field. Racing over is the right fielder, making the nice catch there is J.J. Blade for out number 2.
Big play there, certainly. At least had that home run sound off the bat, but right into that deep right center field triangle. Blade makes a great play. Let's start here for Winnipesaukee in the Northern Division. We'll take a look. Tyler Smith, as the Muskrats closer out of Canisius, gets the All-Star nod, a rising senior. Also Mark Slaus, rising senior at Brown, in the catcher spot.
That pitch there to Josh Goulet will be taken for a call straight. Goulet had that triple back in the third later, came around to score a big triple for Goulet.
Tyler Belamovich, a reserve outfielder, rising sophomore at Houston.
0-1 pitch, catches the inside part of the zone. Nice breaking ball now, 0-2.
And Kobe Claiborne, starting designated hitter, senior out of Abilene Christian.
You had to know Claiborne was going to make that roster the way he's been swinging the stick. 0-2 pitch to Goulet. Catches the top part of the zone. 1-2-3 pitching there by Jonathan Heasley. Now gets the third out of the inning. So after the leadoff single by Greg Ludwig, Heasley settles down. Heading down to the bottom of the fourth here from Cardines Field. 4-3 Muskrats on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
I got this feeling.
Bottom of the fourth inning here from beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. The 9-1-2 due up for the Newport Gulls, who trail 4-3. Victor Danza still on the hill for the Muskrats. First pitch now to Bruce Steele. A high fly ball out to left field. Ranging in, making a diving catch is Greg Ludwig, and he will come up with this one. Tough first out there for Bruce Steele and the Newport Gulls.
What an unbelievable play. We've seen Ludwig lay out like that on a knee, extending that left arm. Back in the third inning, we saw a similar play with that, but this time Ludwig able to make the play here in the fourth. A tremendous defensive grab.
Bring us back to the top of the Gulls order, and Cameron Meisner. Meisner has had a good night at the plate, 2 for 2, 2 singles and 2 stolen bases, as he's mirrored what he's done every time he's been up. Watches that first pitch for a called strike. That one from Danza missing outside now, 1-1. And as we were talking earlier, Danza has had kind of that thing where he's been throwing great pitches, but the Gulls have been able to see some of them well and put them out towards the outfield for some good hits. Steps off the mound now to compose himself here and figures out what he wants to throw.
Also take you through the Southern Division All-Stars here for the Newport Gulls in the frame as well.
Danza, as you said, mostly firing from the stretch. That one will miss inside 2-1.
Kyle Moore out of UCLA, rising sophomore in the reliever role on the South Division All-Star pitching staff. Ty Duvall, starting catcher, rising sophomore at Vanderbilt.
Kicking and firing now is Danza, missing outside, and dangerous count here for Victor Danza, 3-1 to Cameron Meisner.
Andrew Dashbach, starting third baseman, rising sophomore at Stanford. And Cameron Meisner, starting outfielder, rising sophomore at Missouri.
That one missing outside, so after getting a first pitch strike, working back on the walk is Cameron Meisner. He's now reached base all 3 times. He's been up to the plate, and runner on first now for Newport Gulls and Carter Aldretti.
We'll see what Aldretti can do here. Meisner with tons of speed over there at first base. And how about Meisner at the top of the lineup? 3 for 3 on base, 2 for 2. He's an all-star for a reason. He's been excellent.
Aldretti 0 for 2 this evening, or this afternoon I should say. 2 strikeouts as Danza will check over on Meisner at first, but back in plenty of time is the left fielder for the Newport Gulls. First pitch now to Aldretti, catches the inside part of the black, 0-1. (4-3) is the score in favor of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. All 3 runs for the Gulls have come off a 3-run home run by Cabe Cabanis back in the 2nd inning, as that one will miss low by Danza. Aldretti stands in from the right side. Watching that one outside now. And back-to-back good hitters counts here for the Newport Gulls.
The starting pitching matchup in the 2017 NACBL All-Star Game, Blake Whitney, rising senior out of South Carolina, upstate for North Adams.
That 2-1 pitch ground over to Mazzio at short. He's going to go on to Vargas at second, throw on to first. Low and in the dirt, but picked up by Claiborne. It's going to be an inning-ending double play. So heading down to the top of the 5th here from Cardines Field. It's still 4-3 Muskrats on the NACBL Broadcast Network. Jonathan Heasley still on the mound for the Newport Gulls as we head to the top of the 5th inning here from Cardines Field. It's a 4-3 lead in favor of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, who will send up the top of the lineup, Belamovich, Mazzio, and Claiborne. It was a tough inning for the Muskrats in the top of the 4th when Ludwig singled, but then was later thrown out on the fielder's choice by Vargas, and then DiMartino flew out and Goulet struck out looking. As the starting pitchers have really been working the strikeout ball well. 4 strikeouts for Heasley, as well as 5 for Victor Danza. Standing in now from the right side is the University of Houston Cougar and Tyler Belamovich, who will watch the first pitch of the at-bat for a strike. Belamovich is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking back in the first. Walked and later came around to score back in the 3rd when Kobe Claiborne sent 1 yard. 0-1 pitch now to Belamovich. His cut foul over towards the cameraman over there. Guess that's where they put that screen up there. It all makes sense now.
Certainly. We'll also get you that the starting pitching matchup in the All-Star Game as well in the inning.
Big fan down here of the multi-camera setup you guys have. Very efficient. I like it a lot. As that one misses high and inside behind the helmet of Belamovich.
So we were talking about it, and of course, very interesting starting pitching matchup. Getting the nod for the South Division All-Star team. Rising senior at Holy Cross, Ben White from the Plymouth Pilgrims.
Belamovich's going to lace that one onto left field. It will fall in fair. He's going to round first and head for second. That one going all the way back to the fence. He'll get in there standing and lead off base runner on once again. The 3rd straight inning that the Muskrats have had that. This one a leadoff double by Tyler Belamovich.
Yeah, Heasley leaving an elevated fastball there in the zone, and Belamovich taking advantage. You can see on your screen in front of you plenty of time to get into second base standing up, since there was a long run there for Meisner around that left field line area to pick up the ball in the corner.
Brings up the Westchester, Pennsylvania native Sean Mazzio. Mazzio doubled back in the 1st inning there, came around to score the first Muskrat run. grounded out to short in the third. Heasley checks on Belamovic and then will step off the rubber to walk him back. And we're talking about that starting pitching matchup, and Blake Whitney, the strikeout numbers he's put up this season for North Adams are some numbers that I don't think I've ever seen in this NECBL in a long time. As the first pitch, Mazzio shows bunt but can't lay one down, 0-1.
So it will be Blake Whitney from Upper Valley, or from North Adams, pardon me, out of South Carolina upstate, and Ben White out of Plymouth, rising senior at Holy Cross. That's the pitching matchup for the 2017 NECBL All-Star Game.
Should I correct myself? That one inside, and getting back is Mazzio. That first pitch was actually a ball, so now the count goes to 2-0. And we're going to have a meeting here at the mound now just to kind of settle Heasley down a little bit.
Newport pitching coach Kevin Winter talking with Heasley, Duval, the rest of the Newport infield maybe the corners, and Snyder and Aldretti will join them on the mound. But certainly right, Weston. Definitely Heasley needs to be calmed down a little bit here. And now Steele and Durr will join in on the action. The whole Newport infield on the mound as well, with Heasley, Duval, and Gulls pitching coach Kevin Winterroad.
Muskrats down here in beautiful Cardines Field. The first trip, and the only trip of the season, is Mother Nature's not been kind to Newport and Winnipesaukee. Both games rained out. Newport actually came up to Robbie Mills back at the end of June and only sent 2 batters up to the plate, but it was enough to get a two-run lead, as it was a home run by, I believe it was, I want to say, if I go back on my stats here, I believe it was Doshbach who actually went yard up at Robbie Mills.
This is Dashbach, yeah, after J.J. Blade had a leadoff base hit, he would score on Dashbach's 2-run home run over the left center field fence. I'm pretty sure 7 pitches were thrown in that ball game before the rain started to pour down up in northern New Hampshire.
Yeah, and those rains came hard. I live up in the Plymouth area, and they actually had road flooding up there, and unfortunate up there, but that's since been rectified, and that game will resume play this upcoming Thursday. Another doubleheader for the Muskrats, this time a home and home. Luckily for the Newport Gulls, that's the only game they'll have to play on Thursday, as Mazzio lays down a beautiful bunt there, fielded cleanly on the bare hand by Heasley. He'll throw on to first for the only out, but good job to advance Belamovic over there to third base.
It's a great bunt by Mazzio, and now a key situation here for Kobe Claiborne. Probably if you're the Muskrats, this is the guy that you want to have up at the plate, especially with a huge insurance run on third, and Belamovic, who let off the frame with a double down the left field line.
Yeah, Claiborne grounded out in the first, but then hit that big 2-run home run last time he was at bat in the third, one that cleared the trees over there in center field. First pitch he sees from Heasley will be taken inside for a ball. That breaking ball there from Heasley's been working well, but that one just missing inside. One 1-0 pitch taken once more. Good job by Claiborne. They're going to check to see if he went around, and the third base umpire says he held up.
Newport's infield will play in against Claiborne, as Heasley would love a strikeout here. And what is an absolutely huge spot.
That one popped high, but out of play to the left side. It does appear there might be some action starting now down in the Newport bullpen. Hard to tell from here who it is, but just a precautionary starting warm-up if Heasley were to fall into some trouble. Trying to work out the jam here with Belamovic on third. Claiborne laces one down, a grounder that gets past a diving Snyder at first base. And it's the third RBI of the afternoon for Kobe Claiborne, now a 5-3 Muskrat lead.
Well struck ball there by Claiborne. I think it was a good pitch, too, from Heasley. You just got to tip your cap to the Abilene Christian first baseman there. It was a changeup off the outside corner that Claiborne was able to extend his arms and get enough of that barrel on that pitch to sharply ground it through that 4-3 hole there on the right side of the infield between Durr and Snyder.
Yeah, Claiborne's been really good this season at being able to hit pitches that are kind of a little bit out of the zone, but not close enough to call it a strike. As the first pitch to Mark Slouse is in there, called strike. Slouse struck out swinging back in the third, led off the scoring with an RBI single back in the first. Takes a big hack on there, a nice pitch from Heasley. 0-2 now the count to Slouse.
And of course, it's only a 2-run game. Newport offensively has been excellent here today. So we'll see if the Gulls can find a way to keep that offense going and stay in the game.
Slouse pops that one, and they're going to say it went foul. Oh, no, it was a fair ball. My apologies. And good field there by the catcher, Duval, to throw on to first to get the second out of the inning.
Could have been a double play, but I think Duval may be asking for interference there with Slouse getting out of the box.
Yeah, that's a tough play either way you look at it. It looked for a second like the ball might have actually hit foul off of Slouse's foot, but the umpire called it a fair ball, and nonetheless they will move Claiborne now over to second base with 2 outs for catcher J.D. Andreessen.
2 to 3 fielder's choice. It's a productive fielder's choice at that.
First pitch from Heasley to Andreessen will get in there for a ball in the inside part. Heasley, in this at-bat, has not been missing by much in a couple at-bats tonight where his pitches have just kind of missed the zone by just a fraction of a second. That one fouled off the mask of the catcher and then off the top of the awning we have here at Cardines Field. That's not something you see every day. That's a new one on me.
Certainly. But I'll tell you what, I think Heasley's done a nice job. I think he's throwing a lot of strikes. Similar to Danza, he's making these Muskrat hitters swing the bats.
That one missing outside now, 2-1.
Problem is that pitch count up to 90 through 4 2/3. You have to wonder how much longer the Gulls want to stick with Heasley on the mound with that pitch count continuing to go up.
Andreessen skies one out to right field, coming in and going back as the second baseman, and he's going to miss it as he lost it for a quick second, and that's going to be a run, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. Durr went back, looked like he had it under control, and I don't know if Blade maybe called for it. At the last second, Durr gave up on it, but it falls in between both the right fielder and the second baseman, and now it's a 6-3 Muskrat lead.
Yeah, I think he just lost it in the sun. It's going to be an error there on Durr.
Yeah, so it'll be E4 as he looked like he had it camped under perfectly, but then gave up last second as the ball kind of went off to his left side when he lost it. So a tough break for the Newport Gulls, and now with a runner on first, it'll be Greg Ludwig who will foul that first pitch off. Ludwig 1 for 2, singled in the fourth, grounded out in the second. Big lefty from Ashland University watches that one called strike 2 in the outside part. Doesn't agree with the call, but now trails 0-2 in the count. Easily with a big spot here, 2 outs in the inning, 0-2 count. That one catches the outside part of the zone, so the throw down to second won't matter. 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Jonathan Heasley, but 2 runs come across for the Muskrats on the E4 and the RBI single by Kobe Claiborne. Heading to the bottom of the 5th here from Cardines Field. 6-3 Muskrats on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th inning. 3-4-5 due up here for the Newport Gulls will be Gabe Snyder, Ty Duval, and Nick Durr. Muskrats picking up 2 runs in the top of the inning when Belamovich led off the inning with a double. Later came around to score on the Claiborne single, and then Claiborne would come around to score on the E4 by Nick Durr. Victor Danza still on the hill for the Muskrats, and they're in a big spot here for the Newport Gulls. You got your big hitters coming up in this bottom of the 5th inning. You have to try to get something here from Danza.
Absolutely. Snyder, Duval, Durr. Certainly a good spot in the lineup to beat for Newport, but you have to find a way to keep that offense going, keep the foot on the gas. I know it's a 3-run deficit for Newport, but the Gulls' offense has gotten going with 5 hits over the first 4 frames, so you've seen offensive production. Just have to find a way to keep it going, keep chipping into this lead.
Danza's breaking ball there gets away from him. You can see when he got out of the stretch that is he's looking at his hand, just got away. 0-1-0 the count. High one there. Big drive there by Gabe Snyder out to the left center field. It's going to go off the fence. Fielded cleanly by Goulet. Throwing to second base. Going to be close, but in time is Gabe Snyder. He'll lead it off with a double. Nice piece of hitting there by Snyder.
What a great start here for Newport. That's what they need. Find a way to get runners on base. The Gulls once again put the leadoff man on. 3rd time, check that 4th time here tonight in 5 tries. It's exactly what you want. It's a great number. But can the Gulls find a way to score Snyder? It's been one of the problems with this Newport team this year offensively is situational hitting with 1 out or less and a runner in scoring position.
Got 3 runs early in this ball game off of Cabinet's 3-run home run. Big spot here. Danza deals one out to Ty Duvall, who drives it to about the same place. This one, though, not hit as hard. Goulet will put it away for the out. Throw now over to third is tagging up is Snyder. He'll reach third base safely.
Great job there by Gabe Snyder. You don't need to be extremely fast to be a good base runner. You have to have good instincts and you have to have good jumps. Snyder with good speed, but excellent instincts on the base pass. There you can see it. Great play there by Goulet to make that play. But Snyder able to know the dimensions of the field, know the speed, and know the arm strength of his outfielders. Able to pull into second base there off the fly ball.
Nick Durr stands in from the right side, 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice and a sac bunt. We'll watch that first pitch, not missing by much, but it'll be 1-0 the count now. Durr looking to kind of redeem himself after picking up the error in the top of the frame. That pop-up that he lost in the sun, as that one went in there for a called strike. He has Snyder only 90 feet away at third base. Gulls only trailing by 3 runs here, and as you mentioned, a good enough hitting team where they can come back at any time. That one in the dirt, but blocked by Andreessen.
Even if Newport can get 1 here, you're still pulling yourself back closer into the ball game, getting some momentum as well.
Just gotta take it 1 inning at a time, as that one will be hit foul down the left field side, and now a 2-2 count.
What do you go to here if you're Danza and if you're Durr at the plate? Have to find a way to shorten up, put the barrel on that baseball. Anything past the pitcher does the job here with the Muskrats infield playing back.
Goes for the breaking ball and catches the inside part of the zone. 6K of the afternoon for Victor Danza, who take out the 3-run home run. Has been working remarkably for the Muskrats. 2 down now in the inning.
Number 16,
Bring up right fielder J.J. Blade, who flew out in the third, doubled back in the second. Watches that first pitch for a ball. Andreessen now will come out and have a quick discussion with Danza. So big spot here for the Gulls, who got the leadoff runner on, and Snyder with the double. Was moved over on the sac fly by Duvall, and now 2 outs here, the strikeout looking. Conference over now, and we'll see what was discussed, what they're going to try to throw here to Blade. First pitch in the dirt for a ball.
We'll see what Blade can do here, especially being in a hitter's count. You're definitely looking fastball here from Danza, trying to score Snyder from third with 2 away.
That 1-0 pitch cut on in the dirt, and ball gets away for a quick second, but not enough for Snyder to advance. As mentioned in pregame, this game so important in the playoff race for both teams. As both teams find themselves in the lower half of their standings looking for that 3rd seed. That one will miss outside now and make the count 3-1 to J.J. Blade.
Danza has been around the plate a lot here tonight. Has that pitch count up to 90 now, 53 strikes.
Catches the outside part of the zone there, full count. And for someone who started off as a reliever here for the Muskrats, it's interesting to see just how far they'll have him go. That one just missing the outside part, and it's a walk to Blade. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Newport Gulls.
A lot of confidence there by Danza. 3-1 curveball, 3-2 curveball to Blade, who's 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored. Also flew out on a well-struck ball. Weston, that takes a lot of confidence to be able to throw that pitch in that situation.
Yeah, 3rd walk of the afternoon, but as you mentioned, really a confident pitcher is Danza as he tried to get him to chase. We'll see what happens here now. The first pitch to Drew Arculo will get in there for a called strike. Arculo reach on an error and scored and then single in the third. That one a little grounder past the diving third baseman in Slouch. Will be an RBI single. Move it now to a 2-run lead at 6-4 in favor of the Muskrats.
It's a great job there by Archeolo. Exactly what you want to do. Look fastball, hit fastball. Great job by the Fairfield center fielder. Newport's still in business here with Cabanis stepping up to the plate.
So second hit of the night for Archeolo. It'll bring us up to Cabe Cabanis, who's been the hero so far. Struck out swinging back in the third, but it was the 3-run home run back in the second that opened the scoring for the Newport Gulls. And we'll see what he can do here with 2 runners on again. This time on first and second, though, not on the corners like it was the last 2 times he was up. Big hack there. Comes up empty, as you mentioned. Cabanis with the all-orange bat. Is that a nod to his playing at Oklahoma State, I would assume?
Sometimes, like the teams will give out, but like Newport Gulls team bats as well. So, of course, Newport's colors are blue and orange. That could be one of the things as well, but certainly a cool look. Absolutely, you're right.
That one missing there, 1-1. Cabanis looking to get a hold of one like he did back in the second. Danza checks on the run, second kicks and deals that one. Another breaking ball outside that misses. Same spot he had when he worked the walk to Blade.
He's missing wide with that curveball. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good pitch if you want a hitter to chase and you have pitches to waste. But now Danza here with that 2-1 count. You don't really have pitches to waste here with a hitter's count to Cabanis.
That one catches the outside lower part of the plate. Cabanis doesn't agree. Neither does the crowd here at Cardines, but it's now 2-2.
Two-seam fastball there from Danza. It's harder to control, but on the flip side, harder to hit. That's the call there on the outside third.
2-2 pitch. Caught on and missed the 7th K of the afternoon for Victor Danza. That one comes in clutch there. There's runners on first and second, but the Gulls get a run after the double by Snyder and the RBI single by Drew Archeolo. Heading now to the top of the 6th inning here from Cardines Field. 6-4 Winnipesaukee on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th inning here. 6-4 the score in favor of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats over the Newport Gulls. Weston Atwood with Darren Zaslow. And new pitcher on the mound now for the Gulls. It'll be the gentleman from the University of New Haven, number 29, David Palmer.
Palmer with a 6.92 ERA. He is 1-3. This is his 10th appearance. He has thrown 27.1 innings this year. Third most on the team, giving up 21 earned runs on 34 hits. He has walked 8, has struck out 27. Opponents are hitting .281 against him. We will also get you the final line on starter Jonathan Heasley in the frame as well.
Bring up Angel Perez Vargas, the second baseman this afternoon, I should say, for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. Reach on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. Grounded out in the 2nd. That one off the back top of the roof here at Cardines Field. It's now 0-1.
Heasley through 5 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, 6 total runs, 7 hits. 1 walk, struck out 5. He faced 24 batters.
That one in the dirt, bouncing now 1-1 the count. And not a horrible outing for Heasley, just one that unfortunately the Muskrats could get a couple runs on.
He was competitive. He cannot win, can only either take the loss or the no decision, but he's kept Newport in this ball game, both teams with 7 hits apiece. The big, offensive, blast against him, of course, was that home run there from Kobe Claiborne, the 2-run shot back in the 3rd. But really, other than that, Heasley has been competitive. He's done a nice job here today.
Perez Vargas will watch that one outside, moving the count to 2-1. As mentioned, the newest Muskrat still looking for his first hit on the campaign. Just joined the team a few weeks ago. Only starting his 5th game. That one will be called ball 4. He'll take the free pass down to first base, and Now the 4th straight inning in which the Muskrats have gotten a runner on, the leadoff runner on, I should say, and big spot here now for DiMartino.
At the University of New Haven, Palmer had an incredible year. He was extremely dominant. 6'5", 225 pounds. Went 8-1 in 13 appearances, 11 starts, had a 1.51 ERA over 77.1 innings pitched, and he struck out 82 hitters, giving up just 13 earned runs. Really had a great year.
First pitch there, DiMartino missing outside, 1-0. DiMartino struck out looking in the 2nd, flew out in the 4th. Runner goes for 2nd, check swing by DiMartino. The throw down will not be in time. Stolen base for Angel Perez Vargas, his first of the season.
It's a very aggressive Winnipesaukee team on the bases, at least here today. Doing a nice job getting good jumps, and, well, there you see it once again, a stolen base, this one by Perez Vargas.
Yeah, very good running team, a very speedy team, and usually we only see manager Bill Clay going with hit and runs, but today they've had some good running on the base paths, stolen base-wise. As it's a 2-0 count now to DiMartino with a runner on 2nd. He puts a high jolt into that one, but it'll go foul out of play here at Cardines. Racing over towards the dugouts is the first baseman Snyder, but he won't come up with it. As mentioned, one of the first things I noticed when I got off the bus here in Newport Island was the hockey-style dugouts. That's something you don't see pretty much anywhere else that I can think of off the top of my head. And this is a old ballpark, 1908, I believe, is what I was told when it was constructed. As that one's fouled off, and you can really feel the history when you step in here.
Certainly considered a cousin, at least in terms of its history and field construction of Wrigley Field and Fenway Park. Babe Ruth is believed to have played here at Cardines Field. Satchel Paige as well, numerous other big names in the game of baseball.
DiMartino will foul off another one, and yeah, it's a nice constructed ball field. Wooden bleachers pretty much all around here on the outskirts of the foul lines, and nice overhang here above us behind home plate in the press box. And as you mentioned, 28-foot fences surrounding the outfield with some ivy growing on most of it. As another rocket foul there, that one over towards the dugouts, and DiMartino just staying alive up at the plate.
Exactly what you want to do, but on the other hand, Palmer throwing strikes here after the walk to Perez Vargas. Would love to be able to get DiMartino out here without Perez Vargas advancing the 3rd. This way Newport still controls the inning.
2-2 count to DiMartino. Runner on 2nd in Vargas. The pitcher the DiMartino will call for time, and a little late call granted by the umpire as Palmer's already delivering. He'll throw it to the mound anyway, just not to injure himself. And try it again here, 2-2. Palmer kicks and fires. DiMartino puts a rocket on that one. It's going to go foul over towards the right field side. Back over towards the warehouse goes Snyder, but he can't come up with it.
Breaks his bat on that swing, too. That's why you heard that really loud sound after the baseball made contact with the barrel. Kind of hard to tell what part of the barrel DiMartino got that off of. Since he was out in front, I would assume it was off the end.
Another nifty feature here at Cardines Field, the warehouse out there in right field that holds the scoreboard. That's literally right in the outfield, right in the right side of the foul line. A lot of quirks to this old ballpark that make it unique, as that one will go out of play as well. DiMartino now must be at about 8 or 9 pitches in the at-bat.
Yeah, you can tell DiMartino doing a great job here of fouling off pitches. We'll see the 9th pitch between these two. And Palmer has to find a way to try and retire DiMartino here without Perez Vargas advancing the 3rd. It's a big run out there for Winnipesaukee, a huge insurance run to try and continue to extend the Muskrats' lead.
Number 7 tries to pick up run number 7 here for the Muskrats. Step off the mound by Palmer moves Vargas back. Both these teams will be in action again later tonight. The Gulls will head over and make the short drive over to Kingstown, Rhode Island, and play the Ocean State Waves. Muskrats will head up to New Bedford to take on the Baysox, as that one swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. A little housekeeping by the catcher, and Duvall tries to apply the tag but has to throw down for the first out of the inning.
Great job not only by Duvall blocking that pitch, but to be able to look back Perez Vargas at second base, make him retreat, no chance he'll advance from second to third with his momentum going away from the base. And then Duvall making a strong throw over to Snyder at first. That's exactly how you draw it up here for Palmer and the Gulls.
First strikeout of the afternoon for David Palmer. Brings up the Plymouth State product Josh Goulet, who had that huge triple back in the third. First extra base hit of the season. He'll watch the first pitch from Palmer for a called strike. Goulet has gone down looking. That came back in the fourth inning. Looking to try to just get in that insurance run for the Muskrats here as Vargas stands at second. Big cut there now down in the hole, 0-2. Goulet steps back in from the right side. Crowd here willing a strikeout from David Palmer. And he's going to get it, catching the outside part of the zone. The second straight K of the inning for Palmer. And now a big spot there for the Gulls as it's going to take a hit to score Vargas.
What a way to bounce back if you're Palmer. After the leadoff walk to Perez, Vargas, who's on second, strikes out DiMartino, strikes out Goulet, brings back up the top of the order in Belamovic, who has been great in the leadoff spot out of Houston.
Belamovic this afternoon struck out looking in the first, walked and scored in the third, and then doubled and scored in the fifth. He scored 2 of the 6 Muskrat runs. Would love to get a hit here to bring in Vargas. Palmer kicks and fires. That one cut on and missed by Belamovic. The University of Houston Cougar. Belamovic actually on the roster as a pitcher, but has played a lot of games in right field for the Muskrats, has quickly become their starting right fielder, and as mentioned, has made the All-Star team as a reserve outfielder for the North Division. 0-1 pitch from Palmer. Little grounder over, fielded cleanly by Aldretti. He'll throw on to Snyder at first to get the out, so a big job there by the Gulls, who give off the leadoff walk. Perez Vargas gets all the way to second base, gets up to second base on the stolen base, but then 2 strikeouts and a ground out, and the threat for the Muskrats. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning here, 6-4 Muskrats on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Little Rocky theme music bringing us in. I love it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Newport Gulls train the Winnipesaukee Muskrats 6-4. First pitch, high fly ball at the center field by Bruce Steele, and that's going to get out of here. So Bruce Steele, first pitch swing to lead off the inning, leaves the yard, and it's now 6-5 Muskrats leading here the Newport Gulls.
Well, how about that from Bruce Steele? That is exactly what you want. Newport gaining some momentum. Steele with his first home run of the season, 10th RBI. Newport gaining some momentum in the frame.
So we'll see what happens here. Danza still on the mound for the Muskrats. For the top of the order now, and Cameron Meisner has reached base all 3 times he's been up. 2 singles and a walk. Up in the press box, Weston Atwood with Darren Zaslow and my colleague who made the trip down from Winnipesaukee with me, JR Bravo. And as that first season there for a call. So we're going to turn over to JR for a little bit to go over the upcoming games this evening in the NECBL.
All right, tonight we have, actually at 4:30, we have Upper Valley Nighthawks versus the Vermont Mountaineers.
Ground ball to Claiborne. He bobbles it for a second, but then picks it up cleanly to go on for the out. The first out that Meisner's been able to retire here, 1 down in the inning.
The Upper Valley Nighthawks game versus the Vermont Mountaineers is at 4:30 tonight. And the Winnipesaukee Muskrats have another game at 6:30 against the New Bedford Bay Sox over at Paul Walsh Field. Another game at 6:30. The Sanford Mainers played the Keene Swamp Bats at 6:30.
That a big game for the Northern Division. If Sanford can beat the Swamp Bats, the team that Winnipesaukee is currently trailing in the Northern Division, as the first pitch to Carter Aldretti will miss for a ball.
And actually a doubleheader between Upper Valley and the Mountaineers, and that their second game starts at 6:30.
That one missing outside as well, 2-0.
Newport's second game also begins at 6:30 against the Ocean State Waves at Old Mountain Field.
just across the way here in Rhode Island, as that's the interstate battle between those two teams. That pitch in there for a called strike to Aldretti.
And the Danbury Westerners and the North Adams Steeplecats get underway at 6:30 tonight over at Rogers Park.
So thank you, JR. Those are your upcoming games in the NECBL. Sorry, one more, as that one's popped in the air. Ranging over is the Mazio, shortstop, lost it for a second, but then picks it up.
And at 6:35, the Plymouth Pilgrims visit the Valley Blue Sox at Mackenzie Stadium. And I was just down there at Mackenzie, and it's a beautiful park.
And Mackenzie Stadium, a great field over in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Two down now in the inning as Gabe Snyder will stand in from the left side. Snyder walked in the first, popped down the second, hit that double in the fifth, and later came around to score as the Gulls have picked up a run in each of their last two innings. That first pitch will miss for a ball.
Great job by this Newport team to grab a run here in the frame off the Steele solo home run.
That one a lacer right down the right field line, but will go foul in last second. And yeah, as you mentioned, this Newport Gulls team with a great offense, they just have to get a run each inning, and they're right back in it as they've done here so far. Just one run trailing now.
They've chipped away, and that's what we've said. Win each inning, even though you're down 3 runs. Keep winning each inning. Newport trailed 6-3 after the fifth.
Little grounder there. Danza kind of falls off the mound, picked up cleanly by Slouse. Throw on to first will be in time to get the out. But one more run comes across for the Gulls via the Bruce Steele solo home run. Heading to the top of the 7th here from Newport, Rhode Island, it's 6-5 Muskrats on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Listen up, fans.
Top of the 7th inning here from Newport, Rhode Island. A barn burner coming your way as it's 6-5 now in favor of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. And to turn it back over for play-by-play duties here in the final 3 innings, we'll send it back over to the voice of the Newport Gulls, Darren Zaslow.
Thanks so much, Weston. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Muskrats. Sean Mazio, Kobe Claiborne, and Mark Slouse, all to face David Palmer, who enters his second full frame of work. The right-hander out of the University of New Haven deals a fastball down and away for ball 1 to Mazio, the shortstop out of Wagner. 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, a ground out, and a sacrifice bunt. 1-0, sharp ground ball to shortstop, picked up there by Steele on a hop throw on a first in time. 1 away, 6-3. Mazio is retired. Here is Kobe Claiborne, the first baseman from Abilene Christian. 2 for 3. A 2-run home run, a single. He has scored 2 runs. He's also grounded out. He bats from the left side. He's been very good here tonight. Has really paced this Muskrats offense. Newport out hitting Winnipesaukee 8-7. First pitch from Palmer, a changeup. Clips the outer black for strike 1 at the knees. Top 7, 1 away. The base is empty. 6-5. Winnipesaukee leads. A 1. Curveball in there, outside corner once again, 0-2. Great pitch there from Palmer. The shortstop Steele plays about 5 feet to his left pole side there for the left-handed hitting Claiborne, who looks at a curveball in the dirt, 1-2. Both teams have committed 1 error here tonight as well.
Yeah, Muskrats really squandered an opportunity last inning, had a runner on second, leadoff runner on second, but just could not get him home. 2 strikeouts and a ground out into that inning.
1-2 fastball misses high. And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Newport will take on Ocean State at 6:30 here tonight as well. 2-2. This one drilled deep right field. Going back is Blade, looks up, and that ball is gone. A solo home run off the bat of Kobe Claiborne, his second home run of the ball game. This one, his NECBL league leading 11th. Puts Winnipesaukee ahead 7-5 with 1 out in the top half of the 7th.
Yeah, the thing about Kobe Claiborne is when he hits a home run, he usually hits more than 1 in a game. Last time he hit one was against the Plymouth Pilgrims. That was a 2 home run game for him as well. That one deep right field here at Cardines and off the top netting there as it stayed in play. But what a game for Kobe Claiborne now. 4 total RBIs, 2 home runs.
He has been excellent. Here's Mark Slouse out of Brown. Third baseman looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Slaus 1 for 3, a single, a strikeout, and a ground out. Next pitch from Palmer. Sharply grounded to third, under the glove of Allegretti down the left field line. Picked up by Meisner, moving to his right. Taking a wide turnaround first is Slaus. He will head back to the bag. We'll see how they want to rule it. It's going to be a hit. Slaus now 2 for 4.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball there by Slaus. Allegretti tried to get the glove down, just missed it. And good spot here from the Muskrats. Now after 1 out, home run and a single, have them in action.
So a great job there by Slaus to keep the offense going. Solo home run for Kobe Claiborne gives Winnipesaukee some breathing room as J.D. Andreessen takes a big swing and a miss. The first pitch he sees, it's 0-1. Andreessen here tonight 0 for 3, the catcher out of Monmouth. That's from the right side. Palmer sets and deals. Breaking ball misses away. A fake back pick to first from Duvall. And the count levels at 1-1.
Yeah, Slaus took his time kind of easing back to the bag there. Good job by Duvall to kind of quicken his pace a little bit.
Palmer deals the next pitch. Once again, sharply grounded to third, but it lands just foul. And the count is 1-2.
Yeah, quick dance moves there by manager Bill Clay to get out of the way of that one.
So we'll see what Palmer wants to go with here. Ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Palmer getting ready to throw his 32nd pitch. It's on the way. Skied in the air. Right side of the infield. Moving in is the first baseman, Snyder, to reach up and make the play on the infield grass for out number 2. Pop up to the first baseman. If you're keeping score with us at home, here's Greg Ludwig, the left fielder from Ashland. He's 1 for 3. Thus far, combined for both of these teams, 12 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors. Very offensive game. Here's Ludwig. He's 1 for 3. Chops this one foul, first base side, 0-1. Palmer jumps ahead. Ludwig grounded out the shortstop to begin the second, singled to begin the fourth, struck out to end the fifth. Winnipesaukee out hitting Newport 9-8. Palmer out of the stretch, works on the first base side of the rubber. The 0-1. Foul tipped into the mitt of Duvall, 0-2.
Yeah, Ludwig went down looking in the fifth. He's had trouble with strikeouts this season, and big 0-2 count here now for Palmer to work with.
The offering on the way, misses downstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
It was a good idea by Palmer. Get that nice low fastball inside and see if Ludwig will just swing over the top of it.
Palmer is ready, so is Ludwig. A righty-lefty matchup, 1-2. Change up, runs away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Winnipesaukee will travel northwards to New Bedford to take on the Bay Sox at 6:30 at Paul Walsh Field after the conclusion of this contest, as Ludwig just got a piece of that one to stay alive. He fouled it straight back, still 2-2. But what a game it has been. The only time that Newport has led was after the second inning, after the 3-run home run from Cade Cavanis to give Newport a 3-1 lead. The Muskrats immediately answered with 3 runs of their own in the top of the third to go ahead 4-3, and since then, it's really been all Laconia. Or should I say Winnipesaukee, 2-2. Misses upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you're not wrong on either. That's the old school name.
I was actually thinking about it in the beginning of the broadcast. No, I mean, I like it. Lake Winnipesaukee. It makes sense. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, just get all the other communities involved. And
payoff pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. Down on strikes goes Ludwig, 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Palmer. And that is the inning, but the damage has been done for the Muskrats. They push across, 1 run on 2 hits, leave 1 aboard with no Newport errors. We'll stretch and go to the bottom half of inning number 7 with your score. Winnipesaukee 7, Newport 5 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We head to the bottom half of inning number 7 here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Winnipesaukee currently holds a 7-5 lead over the Newport Gulls And a new pitcher on the mound for Winnipesaukee. It's the right-hander, a native of Rutland, Vermont, a rising junior at Siena College, number 27, Ryan Bellamo. And to tell you more about him, here's the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood.
Yeah, Bellamo's been a great relief pitcher this season for the Muskrats, a 3.86 ERA. He is 0-1, but don't let that fool you. 9 games pitched, 1 save, 23 and a third innings, 24 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned, 12 walks. He does have 26 strikeouts and an opponent batting average of 289. So look for him to eat up some innings here for the Muskrats in the bottom of the 7th.
Ty Duvall steps in, looks at a 2-seam fastball off the outside, black for ball 1. Duvall 0 for 2, a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout. That's from the left side here. 7-5 Winnipesaukee. Bottom 7, the base is empty, no one out. This one grounded to first. The kick's just foul down that first base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Duvall a little out in front of that offering from Bellamo. Final line on Muskrat starter Victor Danza out of Lynn University through 6 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks. He faced 30 batters. As Bellamo misses up and away with a curveball, 2-1.
Yeah, Bellamo struggling a little bit here on this first at-bat, but he's trying to get that breaking ball working early, much like Danza had it going for him in the first 6 innings.
Bellamo works exclusively out of the stretch, deals another curveball, misses downstairs. 3-1 on Duvall. Newport would love to put the leadoff man aboard here once again. The Gulls have done that 5 times here today. Next pitch, runs wide, make it 6. Out of the 7 opportunities for Newport to put the leadoff man on, they do it. Here with the leadoff walk to Ty Duvall.
Yeah, Bellamo just missing the outside part of the zone, and if you're the Muskrats here, you really need Bellamo to just eat up these last 3 innings if you can. Big game up in New Bedford later on tonight. You don't want to use up all your bullpen down here at Cardines.
We'll see what Nick Durr can do. He's 0 for 3. Couple ground outs and a strikeout for the second baseman from Florida State. Pitch misses up and inside, ball 1. You can tell Bellamo having some control issues here on the mound. 5 pitches thrown. Or check that, 6 pitches thrown. He has really struggled to throw strikes. 5 of them have been out of the strike zone.
Durr has kind of like a camo tattoo sleeve on the right side. I'm a big fan of that. I like that look. Nice yellow cleats. He's got it going on.
We'll see what he can do here. This is a big spot. 6 for 38 this year. Entering play, 157 batting average, no home runs and an RBI. As Bellamo will check up on Duvall at first. He dives back in safely. Held on by Claiborne. Bellamo out of the stretch, the black glove set, letter high. Another throw over, Duvall back in safely. 1-0 the count on Nick Durr, who bats in the number 5 spot in the Newport lineup.
You have to wonder if Andreessen maybe saw something down at first base after going down and talking to Bellamo. He's thrown 2 straight pitches over there.
This one's skied in the air, right side of the infield. The second baseman, Perez Vargas, makes the call, and the 2-handed catch for out number 1. Here's J.J. Blade. 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, a fly out, and a walk for the right fielder out of Vanderbilt. Represents the tying run nonetheless after the pop out from Nick Durr. Bellamo sets and deals. This one fouled off the glove of Andreessen, 0-1.
Still gun shy every time one gets hit. I know there's a screen here to protect me, but something about working at Robbie Mills has scarred me for life now.
The natural instincts, I guess. 9-foot lead off of first from Duvall, dives back in safely ahead of a pickoff move from Bellamo. We are in the bottom half of the 7th. A runner on first, 1 away. 7-5 Winnipesaukee leads. Blade up at the plate for the Gulls. Next pitch. This is up and away. Count levels at 1-1 on Blade.
Yeah, the Muskrats, you'd love a double play right here if Bellamo can get Blade to ground into hit a grounder here.
We'll see what Bellamo decides to go with. He deals home. Change-up, swing and a miss over top the break. 1-2.
He'll take a strikeout too, though, I suppose, if you can get that as well.
We'll see what he wants to go to. Bellamo certainly a strikeout pitcher with the 26 strikeouts over 23.1 innings pitched entering play here today. 1-2, curveball, strike 3 called, outside corner, down looking goes Blade for out number 2. First strikeout for Bellamo. Here's Drew Archiolo. He's been great out of the number 7 spot, 2 for 3. A 3 for 3 on base. 2 singles, reached on an error, and has scored a run.
Yeah, Archeolo, as you said, 2 for 2 really, reaching on the air and just having a good day at the plate, especially for a 7-hole hitter. So we can do here with that runner over at first.
Archeolo looks at a curveball at the knees for strike 1.
Bottom of the order actually really coming up big for Newport Gulls. 2 hits by Archeolo, a 3-run home run by Cabinets in the 8-hole, and then a solo shot by Steele in the 9-hole.
Next pitch, curveball bounced in the dirt. Excellent block by Andreessen. He has been great behind home plate. But you make a great point, Weston. 4 of the 5 runs scored by Newport have come from the bottom half of the lineup. Blade, Archeolo, Cabinets, and Steele. Hitters 6, 7, 8, and 9. Archeolo steps back in from the right side. His back foot on the back line in the right-handed batter's box. That is completely worn away. 1-1. This is inside, 2 balls and a strike.
That one just getting away from Bellamo, going way inside there to Archeolo.
Might be a pinch hitter on deck for the Gulls. Andrew Dashbach looks to be grabbing a bat, potentially for Cade Cabinets. If Archeolo were to reach 2-1, fastball in their outside corner, 2-2. Huge pitch there from Bellamo. Tucks the black glove shoulder high, gets the sign from Andreessen with the ball behind his back and sets. Here's the 2-2. Sharp ground ball up the middle into center field, a base hit. Duvall will advance to second base. He puts the brakes on there. Drew Archeolo 3 for 4. This is his 3rd hit of the day.
Yeah, got a good piece on that one. A grounder out to deep center that neither Vargas nor Maggio could reach. And as you said, now it's going to be a pinch hitter. It looks like in Dashbach, and a big spot for him with that tying run over at first base.
So here is Andrew Dashbach, the NECBL All-Star. Will start at third base. Rising sophomore at Stanford, Dashbach will pinch hit for Cade Cabinets, who finishes today's ball game 1 for 3 with a 3-run home run and 2 strikeouts. Dashbach bats from the right side. The Stanford product enters here in a big spot. 6'3", 220 pounds. Big situation for Dashbach. 40th round pick to the Tampa Bay Rays last year. Hit 183 in 29 games played in 13 starts for Stanford this past spring. The pitch to Dashbach misses in the dirt. It is 1-0. We'll see what he can do here. Off of second is Duvall, and off of first is Archeolo. Time is called as Andreessen will talk with Bellamo on the mound. Dashbach, 11 for 60 at Stanford this past spring. 4 of those hits, though, were doubles. He had 3 RBI, 7 runs scored, a .269 on base percentage. He's a 3-sport athlete in baseball, football, and basketball. In his high school at Sacred Heart Preparatory. That's from the right side here. The all-white batting gloves and all-black bat for Dashbach. 1-0 curveball taken there, belt high for strike 1. 1-1 the count on the Stanford pinch hitter. Steps back in from the right side. Off of first is Archeolo. He singled. Off of second is Duvall. He walked to lead off the inning. Bellamo works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. Sets the black glove at the letters. 1-1, curveball misses below the knees, 2-1.
Good idea there from Bellamo. Try to get Dashbach to chase, but that one just catching the lower part and missing.
Bellamo here, working against the righty and Dashbach. He steps back in, adjusts his helmet. Here we go. Bottom 7-2 away, a 2-1 count on Dashbach. 7-5 Winnipesaukee, runners on first and second for the Gulls, 2-1. Scott in the air, foul right side out of play, 2-2.
Another one for the streets of Newport here. I feel like that must be a sight to see. You're driving along down the road and a ball just comes out of the air right in front of you.
Absolutely. Righty-righty matchup. It's Bellamo against Dashbach. Siena versus Stanford. A righty-righty matchup. Here we go. Bellamo out of the stretch. With a look towards second, here's the 2-2. Check swing, elevated fastball, did he go? Yes, he did for strike 3. Dashbach goes down on strikes. And for Bellomo, it's his second strikeout of the ball game. This one ends the inning. For Newport, no runs on 1 hit. The Gulls leave 2 aboard with no Winnipesaukee errors. We have through 7 full innings of play here at Cardines Field with a score. Winnipesaukee 7, Newport 5, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
You say you want a revolution. Well, you know.
We go to the top half of inning number 8 here at Cardines Field. Winnipesaukee currently leads Newport 7-5. Bottom third of the Winnipesaukee order due up: Angel Perez Vargas, Michael DiMartino, and Josh Goulet. As Perez Vargas looks at the first pitch he sees, down and away for ball 1. Perez Vargas 0 for 2. A pop out, a ground out, and a walk for the Fisher College second baseman. Next pitch misses in the dirt as Palmer falls behind 2-0 to Perez Vargas. Big spot here for the Muskrats if they want to create some more cushion. Already leading Newport 7-5, but Weston, you have to think the Muskrats would love to add on a couple more runs.
Oh yeah, I mean, no lead is really safe in NECBL. We've seen games, especially last night. I mean, the Mainers had a huge lead on the Muskrats at one point. Muskrats came back and walked off in the bottom of the 9th. So no lead is safe. You can get as much insurance as you can here for the Muskrats. You feel much better.
2-0 from Palmer. In there for a strike belt, high 2-1. Palmer, we talked about, played for an excellent University of New Haven team this year. And we'll talk about their season as the 2-1 fastball called strike on the inner black, 2-2. A University of New Haven team that went 31-13 overall, 16-8 in the NE10 Conference, a Division II school. And as Perez Vargas looks at a pitch on the inner edge for strike 3. It's another strikeout here for Palmer. And for the right-hander here today, Palmer has recorded his 4th strikeout. He's been great. And more about the University of New Haven, a team that earned the number 2 seed from the Southwest Division in the Northeast 10 tournament. They would go on to win the NE10 tournament and go on to the East Regional in the NCAA tournament. They earned the 2 seed there, eliminated by Felician University, but really a great year for David Palmer as Michael DiMartino, the designated hitter from Southern Connecticut State, steps in and fouls off the first pitch he sees. 0-1. Fastball runs inside. A ball and a strike. Palmer led his team in innings pitched. Led the team in strikeouts with 82, and opponents hit 216 against him. Had a spectacular year. So we'll see what DiMartino can do against him. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Bats in the number 8 spot from the left side. Wears a navy blue arm sleeve on the left side arm. Pitch home. Breaking ball swung over top and missed there by DiMartino. 1-2. Wears the navy blue and light blue batting glove. Swings a black barreled bat with a tan handle. Stands up in the box. 1-2, curveball check, swing a pitch in the dirt. Did he go? Yes, he did. Duval applies the tag. It's another strikeout for Palmer, his 5th of the afternoon. 2 away.
Yeah, DiMartino thought he held up in time on that one and was checking back to the umpire, but didn't matter anyway. Good job there by Duval to apply the tag, and Palmer's looking really good right now. 3 straight Ks going back to the 7th inning.
So here is Josh Goulet, the center fielder from Plymouth State. 1 for 3, a triple, a run scored, 2 strikeouts. Bats in the number 9 spot in the Muskrats lineup from the right side. The pitch from Palmer home. In there for a strike. Goulet initially squared around to bunt, but pulled back to see the pitch over the plate. Top 8-2 away, bases empty, 7-5, Winnipesaukee leads. 0-1. Breaking ball misses below the knees. Close pitch, 1 ball and 1 strike. Thus far, for Palmer, he has thrown in the ball game 50 pitches. 1-1. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Make it 51 now, 33 of which have been for strikes. He's been around the plate a lot. He's 1 pitch away from getting out of this frame. He has retired the past 4 hitters he has faced. 1-2 on the way. Skied foul behind home plate and out of play once again. A great job there by Goulet to get a piece and stay alive.
Yeah, he's been getting a couple here in a row now to really stay up there competitive at the plate. Palmer's going to try to give him something low here as he's been swinging underneath the last 2 pitches.
Here's the 1-2. It is low. It's in the dirt.
A little too low on that one.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Both teams with 9 hits apiece and 1 error apiece, but Winnipesaukee leading where it counts. That's the runs column, 7-5. The Muskrats are on top of the Gulls right now. Next pitch. Grounded weakly, left side. Tough play for Steele. Backhanded stop. Throw on the run to first. Not in time across his body. Should be an infield single for Goulet. And that's what it is, the 10th hit of the afternoon. This one from Goulet, who is now 2 for 4.
Yeah, great play by Steele, but with the speed out of the batter's box that Goulet has, you're not going to be able to get him on that kind of play where you have to go all the way pretty much out to the outfield grass. So Goulet now on first base. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe try to send him to second. But Belamovich has had a good night at the plate, so they might leave him there. Who knows? We'll see.
Belamovich with a couple runs scored. He's 1 for 3, a double, a ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. Bats from the right side. The right fielder out of Houston is the leadoff man as Palmer checks up there on Goulet at first. He dives back in safely. Held on by Snyder. Third baseman Aldretti initially playing even with the third base bang as Belamovich squares around the bunt. Pulls back. The pitch is a called strike, 0-1. Now we'll see where Aldretti plays. About even with that third base bag, maybe 2 or 3 feet behind it. Belamovich swings an all-brown bat from the right side. Palmer sets and deals. Runner goes, pitch a called ball. Throw to second from Duvall. In time, great tag from Nick Durr. And the inning is over. Palmer faces the minimum here in the 8th. 3 up and 3 down for the Muskrats. For Winnipesaukee, no runs on 1 hit, no one left aboard, no Newport errors. We will go to the bottom half of inning number 8 with a score. Winnipesaukee 7, Newport 5, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Bruce Steele steps in here in the bottom half of the 8th. Looks at a pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. Now takes a curveball upstairs. It's 1-1 on Bruce Steele, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Hit his first home run of the season, a solo shot back in the 6th. Still on the mound for Winnipesaukee is Bellamo. He's done a nice job. Gets a strike there. 1-2 off the curveball. Peers into Andreessen. Works out of the stretch, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, elevated fastball for strike 3. Another strikeout here for Bellamo, and the right-hander here tonight for Winnipesaukee has just recorded his 3rd strikeout. 1.1 innings pitched. Already 3 Ks. Top of the lineup due up in Cameron Meisner. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles, a walk, and a ground out. That's from the left side out of Missouri. Looks at a fastball on the inner edge for strike 1, 0-1. On Meisner. Bellamo is ready, so is Meisner. And the 0-1. Change up, taken down and away, a ball and a strike. Bottom 8, 1 away, bases empty, 7-5. Winnipesaukee leads over Newport. Bellamo is ready, next offering. Curveball misses wide. Of course, Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats in Weston Atwood, and also Winnipesaukee Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo. 2-1. Misses down and away. 3 balls and a strike on Meisner. Big spot for the Missouri product.
Bellamo has to get one in the zone here. You don't want to walk Meisner.
3-1, misses upstairs for ball 4. It's a 1-out walk to Cameron Meisner. That's what Newport needs. Brings the tying run up to the plate, and Carter Aldretti needs a hit here to extend his hitting streak to 11 games. Currently riding a 10-game hitting streak and a 4-game multi-hit streak as well.
What a day for Meisner. 2 singles, 2 walks. The only blemish was a ground out back in the 6th.
4 for 5 on base out of the leadoff spot. Certainly impressive. Aldretti 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, a ground out into a double play, and a pop out. Looks at the fastball below the knees for ball 1. Newport would love to find a way to potentially put the winning run up to the plate. Aldretti steps back in. Bellamo out of the stretch. Meisner goes. Pitch a called ball, no throw. What a jump from Cameron Meisner. 2-0 on Aldretti.
Yeah, I think it was a good jump by Meisner. I think Andreessen was just trying to focus on maybe trying to frame that pitch a little bit better on the inside part of the plate. Needless to say, a runner on second, and he didn't get the call on the zone either.
Bellamo out of Siena. Sets the black glove at the letters. Works out of the stretch from the first base side of the rubber. The pitch. Curveball misses up and inside. 3-0. How about this situation here for Aldretti? You wonder if they greenlight him. Representing the tying run at the plate with 1 away. Bottom 8, a runner on second. 7-5 Winnipesaukee. The pitch. Misses low for ball 4. It's a 1-out walk to Carter Aldretti. Puts runners on first and second for Gabe Snyder, who could give Newport a lead with 1 swing of the bat. What a situation. Snyder, last year's NECBL Home Run Derby champion here at Cardines Field. He hit 13 home runs at Wright State this year, the everyday first baseman. Played in 59 games, made 59 starts, hit 289, 66 hits, 17 doubles, 49 RBI. Led the team in home runs, RBI, doubles. Tied the team leading games played and started. Bats on the left side here. Bellamo looks at Meisner on second and deals home a fastball. This one drilled deep right field. Backtracking is Bellamovich. He leaps, it's over his head and off the fence. Snyder around first, digging for second. Meisner's going to try and score. The throw home from the catcher, Andreessen, to the plate is in time, and just a miscommunication there on the bases. Snyder moves to second, Aldretti to third, and just a huge miscommunication there by the Gulls with the base running.
Yeah, Snyder rounded first, head for second, not knowing that Aldretti was standing there, so having to backtrack was the both base runners, and at that point, it was Meisner who thought he could score, but they just threw on to the pitcher covering to get the out. And not a horrible scenario. It does cut down a run for the Gulls, but you still have runners in scoring position now with 2 outs. Could have been so much better, though, unfortunately.
Well, what a huge spot this is for Ty Duvall. 0 for 2. Couple walks. Looks at a curveball for strike 1. He has struck out and flown out. So we'll see what he can do here. Bellamo out of the stretch. The 0-1. Curveball misses in the dirt. So Snyder ends up doubling, technically. Aldretti off of third with the walk. But Meisner thrown out at the plate, being forced to try and score. Off the relay overthrow. That Andreessen is able to throw him out at the plate to Bellamo covering. Credit Bellamo covering home plate there. It's a heads-up play. The 1-1. Curveball misses wide, 2-1. Close pitch.
Yeah, that's the play you're going to look back on if this game ends with this final score. That could have been the real difference maker for both teams.
Duvall at Vanderbilt hit .375 this year in 4 starts and 17 games played. He was 9 for 24. Had some clutch hits. This is a big spot for him. 2-1. Fastball misses high, 3-1. Nick Durr waits on deck. He's 0 for 4. 2 ground outs. Check that, 1 ground out. Sack bunt, a strikeout, and a pop out. Bellamo works out of the stretch. The 3-1. Curveball misses wide for ball 4. This is a huge spot in this game. Nick Durr will walk up to the plate with the bases loaded. Ty Duvall is aboard at first base And the bases are loaded. How does Winnipesaukee want to play this defensively?
Well, Gary Calhoun's going to come out and have a little talk. We'll see what they want to do. Gary Calhoun, the hitting coach for the Muskrats. And just going to try to settle down the pitcher in the infield here. And as you mentioned, this is a huge spot for Nick Durr in this ball game, who's grounded into a fielder's choice, hit a sac bunt, struck out, and popped out. So far he's 0 for, but he could really make this a tie ball game if he gets one in the outfield here at Cardines Field.
J.C. Flowers will pinch run for Snyder at second base. Duvall on first, he walked. J.C. Flowers pinch running for Snyder, who doubled. Aldretti off of third, he walked. Newport in this frame with 3 walks and a double. Certainly a great opportunity for the Gulls to push across runs. They have, though, yet to do so. Steele led off the frame with a strikeout. Here is Nick Durr in what is the biggest situation up until this point. Bellamo out of the stretch. Deals a curveball that's in there for strike 1. He will throw that pitch in any count, Weston. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah, he's not afraid to use it, and he got ahead in the count here. This is a huge at-bat. We cannot overstate that enough here for the Newport Gulls.
Righty-righty matchup. Siena versus Florida State. Bellamo versus Durr. The 0-1 fastball in there on the outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 on Durr. Bases loaded. Bottom 8, 2 away. 7-5. Winnipesaukee leads over Newport.
I think Belmo's going to try to give some high fastball here.
Bellamo sets and deals. Fastball, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Down looking goes Durr, and the inning is over for the Newport Gulls. They strand 3 runners. They leave the bases loaded. Newport, no runs on 1 hit with no Winnipesaukee errors. That's how we will go to the 9th inning. It's 7-5 Winnipesaukee on the NECBL Broadcast Network. To the top half of inning number 9 we go here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. 7-5, the Winnipesaukee Muskrats lead over the Newport Gulls. Darren Zaslow with you here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood. And now we will send things over to Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo for a look at the upcoming schedules for Newport and Winnipesaukee. How you doing, J.R.?
I'm doing well. All right, so for the Muskrats, we have a game later on today at 6:30 at Paul Walsh Field against New Bedford. Then we have tomorrow off, which is Sunday. Then on Monday, we play North Adams in North Adams at Joe Wolf Field. And then we're back home on Tuesday the 25th against Valley.
JR will also take us through Newport's recent upcoming slate here in the frame, as well as Tyler Belamovich steps in, the right fielder out of Houston, looks at the first pitch he sees for ball 1. We'll get the upcoming schedule for Newport after this next offering from Palmer. 1-0 taken downstairs, 2-0.
For the Newport Gulls, they have a game tonight against the Ocean State Waves, just across the bridge. On Sunday, the 23rd, they play the Plymouth Pilgrims at 6:30. And then they come back home on Monday, the 24th, to play the Danbury Westerners.
Thank you so much, JR. It's the upcoming schedules for both of these teams, and those are all very, very critical games. 2-0 to Belamovich, skied in the air down the left field line. Moving over is Meisner towards the line to his right, reaches up, makes the play, just in fair territory for out number 1. It's an F7 if you're keeping score with us at home.
Yeah, Belamovich hit that ball about a mile high. I thought we were going to start seeing some raindrops fall here. That one was so up there, but good job over there by the left fielder Meisner to track it down over towards the bullpen area and put it away for the first out.
This is Sean Mazzio, the shortstop out of Wagner. Here tonight, he is, or this afternoon I should say, 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, a couple groundouts, and had a sac bunt. First pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1. It's 0-1. Palmer doing a nice job here. This is Palmer's third full frame of work. As Mazzio skies this one foul and out of play. It's 0-2. On the number 2 hitter in this Winnipesaukee lineup, and Sean Mazzio, the shortstop out of Wagner. Doubled and scored in the first inning. Gave Winnipesaukee an early lead. Next offering from Palmer. Change-up, chopped foul, third base side. Still 0-2. So we'll see what Palmer can do here against Mazzio. And for Newport in the bottom half of inning number 9, the Gulls will send up hitters 6, 7, and 8. Blade, Archiolo, and Dashbach. Mazzio just gets a piece of an elevated fastball right there, fouls it straight back.
Yeah, Mazzio doing a good job at the plate, staying alive here in an 0-2 count. Seeing a bunch of pitches here from Palmer, and Palmer's going to try to give him something low here, I believe.
Yep, curveball. Once again, in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I feel bad every time I say he's going to give him something low, he gives him something like that's way too low. It gets in the dirt every time.
1-2. Misses wide, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here we go. Palmer gets back on the rubber, works out of the windup. The break-even delivery. This one drilled. Left center field. Going back to his left is Meisner. He cuts it off in the alley. Throw into second base holds Mazzio to a single. With 1 out here in the 9th, brings up Kobe Claiborne.
Yeah, good piece there by Mazzio. Had that double back in the first inning. Ever since then, had been kind of shut down. But if you're the Muskrats, you'd really love an insurance run here, only leading by 2. And Claiborne, the way he's been hitting the ball tonight or today, he can be the one to do it for you. 2 home runs, 4 total RBIs.
So here is Claiborne. 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 4 RBI. He's hitting .362. Bats from the left side. He's been great. First pitch, elevated fastball, swung on and missed by Claiborne, 0-1. Top 9, 1 away, a runner on first. 7-5, Winnipesaukee leads over Newport. The Muskrats take on New Bedford tonight, like JR said. Out at Paul Walsh Field, Newport takes on Ocean State. Claiborne fouls this one off, 1-1. It's a very interesting doubleheader because both of these teams playing both games at different sites.
Yeah, very unorthodox, but the way Mother Nature's been, the only way it would work here for these 2 teams to meet up. Muskrats making their first trek down to a Southern Division team. All the Southern Division games from here on out will be home at Robbie Mills.
0-2. Weak fly ball, shallow right center field. Durr and Archiolo converge, but it will be down for a base hit. Claiborne just recorded his 4th hit of the game. He is now 4 for 5. Up to second base goes Mazzio.
Yeah, and that one wasn't hit very hard. Just a little blooper out there to shallow center field, but the bat kind of broke there on that one. But Claiborne's just had a great game, and if you're the Muskrats, you'd love to just at least split these 2 games between here and up in New Bedford, and they're working their way to at least getting this first one here.
So here is Mark Slouse, the third baseman from Brown. 2 for 4, 2 singles, a strikeout, reached on a fielder's choice. Bats from the right side here with Winnipesaukee trying to add on to this lead. It's a 2-run advantage for the Muskrats at 7-5. Top 9, 1 away, runners on first and second. Palmer looks at second, deals home. This one lined in the left field. It gets down a base hit. They're going to hold up Mazzio at third. To second base goes Claiborne. It's a 1-out single from Mark Slouse. He's now 3 for 5. The bases are loaded for J.D. Andreessen.
Yeah, good pitching there by Slouse, but also a good fielding there by Meisner. He positioned himself well in the left field side where if the ball got down like it did, he could make a good play on it and keep that run from scoring. So we'll see what J.D. Andreessen can do here. He does have 2 grand slams this season. Very good with the bases loaded. 1 out here at the top of the 9th for the Gulls.
Huge spot for the Muskrats. Andreessen 0 for 4. Palmer sets and fires. This one drilled down the left field line. Will land way foul. 0-1 on the Monmouth catcher. Andreessen a little ahead of that offering from Palmer on the fastball. Now he will talk with Duvall. Top 9, 1 away now. The base is loaded. 7-5, Winnipesaukee leads. Entering play here today, Winnipesaukee 2.5 games behind Keene for the number 3 spot in the Northern Division, the final playoff spot. Winnipesaukee in 5th place. Newport 4.5 games behind the Mystic Schooners for the 3rd and final playoff spot in the NECBL's Southern Division, but at risk of being 5 games out. With 11 to go if Newport drops this one. A 1 misses upstairs, 1-1 on Andreessen. But the Gulls can potentially pick up a half a game and be back right where they started from if Newport is able to take down Ocean State tonight. 1-1, taken down and away, 2 balls and a strike on Andreessen. Every game is critical at this point for both of these teams. Palmer sets the black glove at the belt, 2-1. Misses up and away, 3 balls and a strike.
Good job by Andreessen to work a 3-ball count. A walks a run now for the Muskrats. Expect Palmer to try to get this one in the zone.
Andreessen with 5 home runs this season, 3-1. Could be 6. Drills this one to deep left field. Going back as Meisner looks up. It's a grand slam for J.D. Andreessen, his 6th home run of the season. Will put Winnipesaukee ahead of Newport 11-5 with 1 away in the top half of the ninth.
Yeah, J.D. Andreessen now 3rd grand slam of the season. That one out to left field here at Cardines, over towards the playground there, and that might be the proverbial nail in the coffin right there. Now a 6-run lead for the Muskrats heading to the bottom of the frame.
Well struck ball there is an elevated fastball. Andreessen put the barrel on that baseball and sent it over the left field fence. And Winnipesaukee adds some much needed cushion here to the lead. It's now 11-5, a 6-run lead. Here's Greg Ludwig, the left fielder out of Ashland. 1 for 4 here today. First pitch from Palmer. Fastball, called strike at the knees, outside corner, 0-1.
Batter is left fielder Greg Ludwig.
Palmer winds and deals the next pitch. Curve ball, in there for strike 2. 0-2 on Ludwig. Grounded out the shortstop to lead off the 2nd, singled to lead off the 4th, struck out to end the 5th, and struck out to end the 7th. 0-2, check swing, did he go? Outside pitch, he did not, 1-2. All ready for Winnipesaukee in the frame. 4 runs on 4 hits. The Muskrats have been very efficient with this offense. 11 runs on 14 hits. Curveball chopped to first, gloved by Liam McGill, who is a new entry into the ball game for Gabe Snyder defensively. Steps on the bag himself. 3 unassisted for out number 2. And here's Angel Perez Vargas, the second baseman from Fisher College, 0 for 3.
The second baseman,
Newport with 10 hits of its own.
number 3, Angel Perez Vargas.
First pitch from Palmer, lifted in the air. Straightaway left field, oncoming is Meisner. A couple steps, he reaches up and puts it away for out number 3, but the damage has been done for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. 4 runs on 4 hits. A 1-out grand slam from J.D. Andreessen puts the Muskrats ahead 11-5. Winnipesaukee leaves no one on base. Newport does not commit an error in the frame. We go to the bottom half of the ninth. Newport will try and chip away here into this Muskrats lead. It's 11-5 right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. We head to the bottom half of the ninth inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Winnipesaukee Muskrats. It's the right-hander, submariner from North Greenville University, Nathaniel Lagos. To tell you more about him, here is the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, Weston Atwood, as J.J. Blade steps in, looks at a pitch low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, Lagos, a big sign-winding righty, 1.29 ERA, 7 appearances, 7 innings. 31 batters faced. He's gotten 8 strikeouts and 5 hits, a 185 opponent's batting average. Only 1 earned run against him.
Misses low and inside with the 1-0 fastball. The count 2-0 on Blade. Lagos deals home. Fastball that runs wide. 3 balls and no strikes.
Also found out the other day he raps. He's on one of his brother's songs on iTunes.
3-0 fastball catches the inside corner for strike 1. It's 3-1. We'll also get you the final line on Bellamo for Winnipesaukee. Ryan Bellamo out of Siena College. Through 2 scoreless innings. Struck out 4, walked 4, gave up just 2 hits. He faced 11 batters as Blade fouls the 3-1 pitch off to the left side and out of play, 3-2. Blade here today, 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, and a walk. Next pitch, sharply grounded to the right side, past the dive of the second baseman, Perez Vargas, into right field, bobbled there by Belamovich. It's a leadoff single for J.J. Blade. He is now 2 for 4.
Yeah, Gulls not going to give up here. They trail 6 runs, but good leadoff single by Blade is not giving up. Going to try to just get back in this ball game in the bottom of the 9th.
So here's Drew Archiolo. He has been great out of the number 7 spot out of Fairfield University, the center fielder. 3 for 4. 4 for 4 on base, though. Reached on an error in the second and has singled 3 times since. As Lagos misses up and away with a fastball there. It's 1-0 on Archiolo. Newport just trying to chip away here. Archiolo is currently pacing this Newport offense, which currently has 11 hits in the ball game. Winnipesaukee, though, out hitting Newport 14-11. Next pitch from Lagos. Lifted foul in the air down the right field line. Will get out of play. Claiborne gave it a look. 1-1. Winnipesaukee with 1 in the first, 3 in the third, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 4 in the 9th. They've scored every other inning. 1-1. Slider in there for strike 2 outside corner. Newport, on the other hand, 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Muskrats lead Newport 11-5. Bottom 9, no outs, a runner on first, and Blade, who led off with a single through the right side of the infield. 1-2, slider, swing and a miss for strike 3. Down on strikes goes Archiolo. First strikeout for Lagos, 1 down.
Yeah, that slider from Lagos all season has been really deadly. It's hard to read it from a sidewinder as it comes in, especially to a right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter by Archiolo. And big strikeout there now with 1 down in the inning.
So here is Andrew Dashbach, the designated hitter. Here today, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Entering for Cade Cabanis as a pinch hitter back in the 7th. Looks at a slider wide of the zone. It's 1-0. Dashbach out of Stanford. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on a fastball there from Lagos. Side armor not with a lot of velocity, but has located very well. Long pause on the mound, the pitch home. Another slider. Misses off the outside corner, 2-1.
That's something Lagos does too. He'll try to kind of hesitate a little bit on the mound, but he'll also throw quick pitches. He screws up the timing of the hitters so much when he's on the mound.
Next offering, lifted in the air to right field. Medium range depth, reaching up to make the play is Belamovich. 2 away, Newport down to its final out. Bruce Steele will walk up to the plate. He's 1 for 4, hit his first home run of the season. He has struck out twice and has flown out as well. Wake Forest shortstop trying to extend this game. First pitch, changeup misses low. It's 1-0. Blade with a big lead over there. First baseman Claiborne plays behind him. 1-0. Fouled off behind home plate, 1-1.
Ooh, nice pit-handed catch there by Cameron Meisner right off the top of the netting here.
What could be a huge win for Winnipesaukee if the score were to hold. Here is the 1-1 from Lagos. This one lifted in the air, right center field, gets down in front of Goulet. Taking a wide turnaround second is Blade. He holds up there. Bruce Steele now 2 for 5 with a 2-out single here in the bottom of the ninth. Extends this game, puts runners on first and second for Cameron Meisner.
Yeah, Lago just got a little bit too much of the outside part of the plate there. Steele put a good swing on it and found shallow center field. Now runners on first and second, back to the top of the lineup.
Meisner 2 for 3 with 2 walks, 4 for 5 on base. Lagos out of the stretch, the pitch. Misses off the outside corner. It's 1-0 on the Missouri left fielder.
Don't know the name of Meisner's walk-up song, but it's about the walk-up song of at least one player on every NECBL team this summer.
1-0. Skied in the air down the left field line, slicing away from Ludwig, moves to his right, looks it out of play. Into the bullpen. And the count levels out a ball and a strike on Cameron Meisner. Meisner 6'4", 220 pounds. 33rd round draft pick to the Kansas City Royals in 2016, 1-1. Ground ball to second base, gloved by Perez Vargas. He will throw on to first in time, and that will end the ball game. 4-3, Meisner is retired. Winnipesaukee victorious over Newport here today by a final score of 11-5. With the victory, Winnipesaukee will improve to 15-20. Newport falls to 13-20. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls post-game show is up next, right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Final score here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Winnipesaukee gets the victory over Newport, 11-5 with the win. Winnipesaukee improves to 15-20. Newport falls to 13-20. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud, the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats in Weston Atwood, and Winnipesaukee Muskrats beat reporter J.R. Bravo. We are all here with you in the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Your final lines here: Winnipesaukee 11 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. For Newport, 5 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. Grabbing the win for the Muskrats was the starter, Victor Danza out of Lynn University. He threw 6 innings, giving up 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits. He struck out 7 and walked 4. Grabbing the loss for Newport was Jonathan Heasley. He threw 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, 5 earned on 7 hits, struck out 5 and walked 1. Pacing both of these offenses, first for Newport, it was Drew Archiolo. He went 3 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI. And for Winnipesaukee, it was Kobe Claiborne. He had an incredible afternoon. 4 for 5, 4 runs scored, 4 RBI. Weston, what are your thoughts on this ball game?
Oh, it's just a great game for the Muskrats. Newport, though, gave them a challenge in the first couple of innings. The first 8 innings were very close, back and forth. 1-run ball game at one point, but then J.D. Andreessen coming out with that clutch grand slam in the top of the ninth, right, put this one out of the way. And big win here in Newport, ready to go take on the Bay Sox just up the road at New Bedford, Massachusetts now.
JR with the victory for the Muskrats. Winnipesaukee now 2 games behind Keene for the 3rd and final playoff spot in the NECBL's Northern Division. How big of a win was this for the Muskrats?
Oh my gosh, it was a huge win, one we absolutely needed. 5 games below 500, that doesn't matter. What matters is we're only 2 games back from a playoff spot, and we have to go get another win. Just like Weston said earlier, we have to go get another win tonight against the Bay Sox, or it's going to get a little harder. But right now we've got a good track on making the playoffs if we can win again tonight.
Winnipesaukee, like you mentioned, will travel to New Bedford for a 6:30 matchup with the Bay Sox at Paul Walsh Field. Newport, on the other hand, will travel to Ocean State to take on the Waves out in South Kingstown, Rhode Island at Old Mountain Field. First pitch for Game 6 of the Pell Bridge Series is set for 6:30. JR, it was a lot of fun working with you.
Nice meeting you.
As well with you, Weston. Best of luck to you guys the rest of the way. Don't go anywhere. The Newport Gulls postgame show is up next, hosted by Gulls scorekeeper Ben Maxoud and the Assistant Director of Broadcast Operations, Shannon Carlson. Don't go anywhere. This is the NECBL Broadcast Network.
and we're here on the post-game show on the NECBL Broadcast Network. I'm Shannon Carlson, co-executive producer of the Gulls, and I'm here with Gulls official scorer Ben Maxon. And Ben, what were your thoughts on the game?
This game started out with a lot of promise. You had Cabanis hit a 3-run home run. Heasley was pitching good. And then it all just fell apart. That's in no small part due to the home run hitting ability of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, specifically Kobe Claiborne, who was just, it was like it was next weekend and he was at the home run derby. And then, of course, you had Andreessen with his grand slam to finish the game. The Gulls were never really out of it until that ninth inning.
Grand slam, yeah.
Exactly, but it just another tough loss, and at this point, you can't be affording to lose games. Now, tonight, really is a must-win, or else you're looking at 5.5 back with 10 games remaining.
Yeah, it's a do-or-die situation at this point.
Yep.
But when you look at the final, box score, the Gulls had 12 hits. The Muskrats had 14, so it's not like there was a big difference in that. And we're going to throw it down to the field for Darren for Player of the Game interview.
Welcome back to the post-game show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport falls to Winnipesaukee here tonight by a final score of 11-5. Darren Zaslow with you here, joined alongside Newport Gulls Player of the Game, Drew Archiolo. Drew, you went 3 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI to pace this Newport offense. How did you feel about that?
I felt pretty comfortable there. I felt good. Came ready to attack early and see what I could do with the ball.
Newport falls to 13-20. A huge game coming up here tonight. A quick rebound against Ocean State. What does this team need to do to look past this loss?
I think we need to come out firing. I think we need to do the fundamentals, pitch hit, but we know what we're capable of. So I think we just got to come out early, first inning, score some runs, and hold them from there.
Offensively for the Gulls, 12 hits tonight. Would you say that was probably the bright spot of this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it just shows what we're capable of, and the run we're able to make. We just gotta perform the way we can and get going.
Well, Drew, thanks so much and best of luck the rest of the way. The Newport Gulls post-game show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
And we're back up in the booth. Thank you, Darren and Drew. Just a quick recap. So here, the Gulls fought pretty hard throughout this game. Wasn't really out until that 9th inning. And so the Gulls will travel to Ocean State for a 6:30 start against the Waves, which is kind of a must-win for the Gulls. Winnipesaukee will travel to New Bedford for a 6:30 p.m. start. And then Upper Valley and Vermont have a doubleheader in Vermont today. The first game is at 4:30. The second game is at 6:30. Sanford and Keene play at 6:30. North Adams and Danbury play at 6:30. And Plymouth and Valley play at 6:35. And for myself and Ben Maxon, we're going to send it down to the field for Darren for the final words.
Post-game show here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport falls to Winnipesaukee here today in Game 1 of the home-away doubleheader by a final score of 11-5. Winnipesaukee out-hits Newport in what was a very offensive game, 14-12. Winnipesaukee improves to 15-20. Newport falls to 13-20. The Gulls will be back in action here in just a few short hours, traveling out to South Kingstown, Rhode Island to take on the Ocean State Waves. First pitch for Game 6 of the Pella Bridge Series is set for 6:30 p.m. But before we sign off, we'd like to thank everyone who played a role in tonight's broadcast. Our executive producer and director is Tom Lima. The producer is Shannon Carlson. Our associate producer is Dave Peck. Tess Road is our audio tech. Our on-site engineer is Sam Salinger. Our social media coordinator is Molly Feed. Our field reporter and beat reporter was for Winnipesaukee in J.R. Bravo. Our statistician was Ben Maxoud. And for the voice of the Winnipesaukee Muskrats in Weston Atwood, I am Darren Zaslow saying so long from the city by the sea.